Prep Joe, along with Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes, set for the Quad A Western Finals. The Ramblers of Cathedral Prep, the Blue Devils of Mount Lebanon. And Joe, first of all, these two clubs coming off emotional wins last week. The Ramblers surviving the double overtime scare against Altoona. Mount Lebanon with an unexpected upset of Woodland Hills in the WPIAL Finals. How much does the emotion of that weekend carry into this weekend?
Oh, for Mount Lebanon, it's a big emotional win, and I think that's going to carry over big time for them. For Cathedral Prep, I think they've learned a lot from that tight game, and they're going to have to utilize their athletes this week. And I don't think they did a good job of that last week, and we're going to have to utilize our Prep's athletes this week for a win today.
It should be a dandy. The teams are being introduced, and we'll be back with the opening kickoff between the Ramblers of Cathedral Prep and the Blue Devils of Mount Union. Mount Lebanon, the Quad A Western Finals coming up in just a moment on WSEE Channel 35.
Admittedly, I don't resemble Santa, but with our holiday gift collection, Contemporary Motor Car does resemble Santa's workshop. Anyone would love this Mercedes convertible, but if that's slightly beyond your budget, consider Mercedes-Benz sportswear, such as golf shirts, jackets, and caps, pedal cars for the young Mercedes buffs, and we have a full line of miniature Mercedes-Benz cars, from playthings to fine collectibles. We'll also gladly order other sports car brand merchandise. For little kids or big kids, the best toys are at Contemporary Motor Car.
Planning a party? Be sure to invite your neighborhood country fair for a delicious and festive party tray. Choose from 5 popular made-to-order trays, or select your own favorite assortment of fresh deli meats, cheeses, and salads. Simply stop in or phone ahead, and Country Fair will create a colorful feast for 2 or for 200. You can get those other party fixings too when you pick up your party tray. When you're planning your party, invite your friends with the best taste in the neighborhood. Country Fair.
The teams have been introduced here at Veterans Stadium as the Ramblers of Cathedral Prep and the Mount Lebanon Blue Devils get set to square off for a right to meet Central Bucks West in Hershey next weekend. Central Bucks West, we can tell you, a winner in the Eastern Finals this afternoon over Bethlehem Catholic by a 27-12 score. Let's go down to Chris Hughes on the field and find out field and weather conditions. Welcome, Chris, to the broadcast.
Thanks, Gary. How you doing? First of all, obviously it's cold. Everybody knows that. That's no secret. About 25 degrees. But the good thing is there's very little wind down here in the field. It's only a slight breeze. One factor that could be interesting, and we'll see what happens, is the field itself. Very hard and crusty, as hard as the Veterans Stadium turf has ever been. So we'll see if it's slippery for the speed of the Ramblers. Could be a disadvantage, but let's hope not.
All right, thank you, Chris. We'll, of course, be going down to Red periodically throughout the course of this game for injury updates, strategy updates, so on and so forth. You see the captains in the center of the field, and obviously whoever scores first in a game of this magnitude gets a little bit of an advantage. Do you expect Mount Lebanon, maybe nearly a mirror image of Altoona last week, to present the same kind of strategy at Cathedral Prep, Joe?
Well, besides the same strategy, maybe trying to have their offense on the ball, on the field more. They're going to come out and I think throw the ball a little more than Altoona thought about. And that'll keep Prep out of the 8-9 man box in the theory that Prep likes to do against teams. So I expect a lot of passing from Mount Lebanon, to tell you the truth, Gary.
All right, we'll see what happens. You saw the toss of the coin won by Mount Lebanon, and they have elected to take the ball first. But before we get tonight's Quad A Western Final started, we'll pause for our national anthem. for kickoff here, and as I mentioned just previously, Mount Lebanon has won the toss and has elected to receive. This is not a very complicated offense you'll see tonight from Mount Lebanon. Sam Matthews is their big running back, and he has rushed for 22 touchdowns on the year. Last week against Woodland Hills, 175 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns, 150 of those 175 yards, and both touchdowns occurred in the first half. So you talk about coming out and throwing a punch at Woodland Hills right away. Mount Lebanon did that against Woodland Hills in the WPIAL championship game. By the way, this area, District 10, 0 for 3 so far this weekend against WPIAL teams. Earlier this afternoon, Aliquippa beat Sharon, and last night it was West Allegheny and Rochester from the WPIAL beating Sharpsville and Wilmington. And so Prep is the lone hope for having a non-WPIAL team represent the West in Hershey next week. It's been a good weekend so far for the WPIAL. We'll see what happens tonight, Joe.
Well, that's such tough football down there, and of course District 10 was well represented in the Western semifinals. Once again, we pass our congratulations out to the other team, Gary.
Absolutely. The effort to get here is probably unbeknownst to a lot of people when they start in the middle of the summertime and go through the rigors of preseason training and then training camp and then throughout the course of what turns out to be a 12-13-week season. But here are the Ramblers, 12-0 against this Mount Lebanon team, which has lost twice. They lost to North Hills by a 27-0 score and McKeesport 24-7. It is Heidegger has the ball teed up at the 40, and the Western Finals are underway. It is a short end-over-end kick taken at the 20, and they're going to throw back, and the ball is loose and goes out of bounds. That was a lateral. It was not a pass. It was a lateral. You can't, of course, throw a forward pass. You have to lateral it, so Mount Lebanon immediately comes out and tries to throw a little trickery at Cathedral Prep. But it takes discipline for the cover team to stay in their lanes, and Cathedral Prep did that on this play, Joe.
Give Cathedral Prep a lot of credit. Number 6, Joseph Evanoff, did a great job staying in his lane, read the play real well to make the stop there. Mount Lebanon is very fortunate.
All right, so Mount Lebanon, Kevin Weidel is their quarterback. And as we mentioned, Sam Matthews, number 3, is their running back, running for over 1,000 yards this year. And he gets the ball first, and he heads to the outside, and he's got some running room. Across the 20 and has about 11 yards for a first down out of about the 25-yard line. Number 35 for Cathedral Prep, Brian White, is the man who brought him down. But Matthews, as I mentioned, the big game against Woodland Hills for the season, 1,284 yards rushing. He averaged 128.4 yards per game, including the big game against Woodland Hills last week.
Matthews did a great job following his guard block over there. They ran an onside scheme there.
Split receiver out wide to the bottom of your screen, and you see the I formation set behind Weidel. He wants to throw on first down. A little slanting pattern is caught, and immediately he goes to the turf and is down at the 33-yard line. Tim Longren, a 5'10" senior receiver, on the receiving end of that Weidel pass, and covering up for Cathedral Prep was Jason Easter.
Pretty much what I expect, Gary. Mount Lebanon is going to try to keep Cathedral Prep guessing. Are they going to run on first down or pass on first down? And right now, they're 1 for 1 here. 1 run, 1 pass.
Yeah, you expect Mount Lebanon to run, and all of a sudden you start inching closer to the line of scrimmage. You put 8 or 9 guys in that box, and all of a sudden they loft a pass over you. Prep tight defensively again. Tight end on the right side of that offensive line. Here comes Matthews on 2nd down and 8. Turns it back upfield. Has a first down as he crosses the 35, gets to the 36-yard line. Eric Field making the stop for the Ramblers, along with Joe Dupre. And it's no secret what Mount Lebanon wants to do here. And they've got a pretty good fullback leading the way as well. He's not going to carry the ball much, but Jerry Bonenberger is almost like another lineman in there, if you will, because he just is there for one purpose, and that's to lead block for Sam Matthews out of the backfield.
A true I team uses that fullback just like another guard, and that's what he'll do for them.
1st and 10, Mount Lebanon, after receiving the opening kick, trying a little trickery on the return, which was snuffed out by Prep, have put together 2 first downs, but a whistle stops play as Weidel was back to throw, and this is going to be a delay of game penalty against Mount Lebanon. We saw Altoona do that last week so effectively, come up to the line of scrimmage, let the clock run down to try to shorten the game. Mount Lebanon this time, though, caught for the delay of game.
Well, Mount Lebanon is going to try to change the strength of their formation, making prep defenders run the field, in which they did there. But once again, they got caught into a penalty situation to delay a game.
By the way, one of the losses Mount Lebanon suffered in the regular season was to North Hills, 27-0. They came back and beat North Hills in the playoff 21-7. So from losing by 27 to winning by 14, quite a turnaround. Shows you the progress this Mount Lebanon club has made during the course of the season. 1st and 15, Weidel over the middle. Has a man at the 40, at the 45, and close to a first down at the 46-yard line. Hinkle came up to make the stop, as well as number 24 for the Ramblers, Donnie Brown. Let's see where they mark the football as we check it out on our replay. He was wide open, Joe, as Weidel just sat back in that pocket and drilled a slant pattern over the middle.
Yeah, right now Mount Lebanon's formationing prep to death. They're going to give him a lot of different looks. They had a trip formation up there and really like a quick little screen underneath there, Gary. Very well executed.
It was enough for the first down. So Mount Lebo has put together 3 consecutive first downs after receiving the opening kick. They've got it at their own 48, and here comes Matthews. And there goes Matthews at the 40. Matthews down the far sideline, is knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Sam Matthews off and running. It was Jawan Walker who saved a touchdown by knocking him out at the 15-yard line, and they've turned their big back loose here, Joe.
Gary, the onside guard, number 75 from Mount Lebanon, is going to come out and kick out. The fullback helps lead, gets Matthew the edge there, and of course he's got great speed. Great hustle by Walker to stop the touchdown for prep.
Matthews isn't a big guy. He's only 5'10", 195 pounds, if you believe the program stats. But he certainly has maybe deceiving speed. You think he's a little power back, but he can scoot once he gets to the outside. They mark it at the 10-yard line. That is where he went out of bounds. And here comes Matthews again. A flag is thrown as Matthews tries the far side and is pushed out close to the 6-yard line. Joe DePrey over there to help out, and Donnie Brown was there as well. Jawan Walker, it's going to be a penalty against Mount Lebanon. And this is going to make it tough down here as we get into the red zone, Joe. There's nothing like that drives a coach crazy than seeing your team march down the field and then start making mistakes once you get into the red zone.
This penalty really hurts now, because it's going to make it 1st and 20 now, sitting down there in the red zone. It's very difficult to call off plays this way.
Right, it was 1st and goal because the ball was right at the 10-yard line after the Sam Matthews run. So they cannot pick up a first down before the end zone. So it's 1st and goal from the 20 following the 10-yard mark off for holding. Weidel takes the snap, looks, is hit as he throws it, and it's incomplete. And number 33 for the Ramblers, roaring in, Eric Field, laid the leather to Weidel and forced that pass to go incomplete in the flats.
Mount Lebanon spread us out, Gary, and they didn't have enough people to cover the defensive end up top there, and it was a great hit. Mount Lebanon was very fortunate they didn't have an interception there.
Or a possible fumble. He just released it. As you saw, Field was not blocked on the play. He came right in from that right end position, unblocked, and hit Weidel on the blind side. So with 9:20 remaining, it's 2nd down and goal for Mount Lebanon at the 20-yard line. We're scoreless here in the first quarter, just underway. A quick handoff to Matthews inside. They tried to slip him through the middle, but not much running room as he is down to about the 17-yard line. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Blue Devils at the 17.
Mount Lebanon spreading us out. Ran a little guard trap in there with Matthews. Was not too much success, about 3 yards.
DePrey and Rush combining for that tackle as Prep tries to tighten the line defensively here. And we'll see if Mount Lebanon goes for the end zone here on 3rd and goal from the 17. Remember, they had 1st and goal at the 10, and then a 10-yard holding penalty on the first down play from the 10-yard line pushed him back to the 20. Weidel back to throw, lobs it for the end zone for Harvey, just over his reach and incomplete. It was Jason Easter covering on the play, and he was with James Harvey, who was their leading receiver, step for step. Just tried to get that over Easter's head. Harvey has a little bit of a height advantage on Easter, but the ball, as you see on the replay, was just overthrown.
Great theory by Mount Lebanon here. Going to try to beat Easter because of the height advantage, as you mentioned, Gary.
Here's John Nichols. He has made 1 field goal this season. This one is from 35 yards out. It is wide to the left, no good. And Prep comes up with a goal line stand, and we are scoreless here in the first quarter. We'll be right back.
Mecco welcomes you into the new millennium. The Business Environment Center, your full-service office furniture dealer, creating solutions for workplace performance.
Welcome back live from Veterans Stadium. We're in the first quarter. Scoreless, 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. Mount Lebanon driving the ball from their own 15 down to the 10-yard line, but eventually missing a 35-yard field goal attempt to keep this game scoreless. Now here are the Ramblers with their hands on the football for the first time, and Eddie Hinkle turns it upfield and gets out to about the 23-yard line for a gain of 3.
Cathedral Prep was winning a lead option to the split end side. Hinkle turned it up there. He had a little bit of pressure on him, but did a nice job getting what he could out of that.
What a season Ed Hinkle has had. Of course, he injured his wrist late in that Altoona game, and there was some question early in the week how well he would be, but reports are he threw the ball well in practice this week, and it should not hamper him too much here tonight. Here's the give to Walker straight ahead, and he is down to the 25-yard line. So it makes it third down at about 5. Let's send it downstairs to Chris Hughes. Chris?
Yeah, Gary, it's interesting. The field goal that John Nichols just missed was the first missed kick all year for him. He was 45 out of 45 on extra points, 1 of 1 on field goals. He only attempted one 36-yarder, which he made early in the year. So that was his first miss, so we'll see if that gets inside his head.
All right, good stat there. It keeps this game scoreless, but the Ramblers have a third down about 4.5 yards at their own 25-yard line. We've got 7:20 remaining and counting in the first quarter. Hinkle wants to throw, lobs it up down the sideline. Tim Dance has it at the 40, the 35, spun down at the 30, and to the 27-yard line goes Tim Dance. Tim Longren saved a touchdown, but Dance, who had a touchdown called back on a long pass play last week against Altoona, this time comes up with the nice grab, and Hinkle just laid it out there perfectly for him, Joe.
Gary, I mentioned this earlier in the game. I really believe Cathedral Prep has a user athlete, especially Tim Dance. He's got great speed. He hung on the ball there. It was a great play for them.
So the Ramblers have a big play. And now they're threatening on their first position at the Mount Lebanon 27-yard line, 1st and 10. Jawan Walker dotting that I behind quarterback Ed Hinkle. And Walker's got it. And Walker's got some running room at the 15. Jawan Walker into the end zone for a Cathedral Prep touchdown. 27 yards away. Jawan Walker, just some good blocking, Joe, as you see up front. And then Walker makes the most of the daylight given him.
A great block by Eric Fields there. It's an ISO to the 2-count side, Gary. And, of course, Walker does his thing. He runs through a tackle and sprints to the end zone. What a great play for Cathedral Prep.
27-yard touchdown pass for Jawan Walker. And for the Ramblers, setting up for the extra point, Rory Maloney, who, of course, had some huge extra points last week in that double overtime win against Altoona. Snap, kick, it is good, and Cathedral Prep is on the board first, midway here in the first quarter. 7-0 Ramblers, back with more of the Western Finals in just a moment.
Over the years, Hammett Sports Medicine has treated some big-time athletes. But we've also helped countless big dreamers and weekend warriors get back to the bigger things in life. Hammett Sports Medicine, training, treatment, and therapy for all kinds of athletes.
Jawan Walker's 27-yard touchdown run has the Ramblers in front 7-0. What an emotional swing in the first half of this first quarter, Joe. Mount Lebo drives the ball down the field, had a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line before holding pushed him back to the 20, ended up missing a field goal and not getting any points, and then the Ramblers drive down in a matter of 3 or 4 plays, and they've got the lead to start this football game out 7-0.
Gary, we'll find out how good Mount Lebanon really is, because they're going to have to respond very quickly to that touchdown. They did a great job in their first drive, taking the ball down, but they made a few crucial mistakes in that drive.
You always see Hinkle and Heidecker set up. Either one of them actually looks like they're going to kick the ball. Most of the time it is number 99 Heidecker, and he does it again. A kick they let bounce. Matthews has to fall on it at the 15-yard line. So a little miscommunication perhaps on the return team for Mount Lebanon. And now all of a sudden they're backed up at the 15-yard line. And you talk about momentum, and especially when you're playing on the road and you're playing the Ramblers here at Veterans Stadium with a nice crowd gathering on this chilly night. You just can't let the game get out of hand earlier. You're just never going to get back in it. And Mount Lebanon sort of is in that position. It's only 7-0, but if they can't get out of this hole and give Cathedral Prep the football near midfield somewhere, all of a sudden we're looking at a 2-touchdown lead for Cathedral Prep. Weidel, the quarterback. They went to Sam Matthews often and successful in that first series, and here he comes again, but no gain on the play. Maybe a yard up to the 16-yard line. Big Joe Dupre, number 40.
Joe played that very well. It's the exact same play they've had success on in the first series. A little guard kick out the end, fullback up on the linebacker. Joe Dupre did a great job defeating the fullbacks to block.
Of course, Dupre calling the defensive signals for the Ramblers. He's the defensive captain and will get a full scholarship to play Division I football next year at Kentucky. Gave him about a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9, just outside of the 15-yard line. Here's the pitch to Matthews. Looks for some running room up the middle. Does a nice job of making something out of nothing and gets out to about the 20. Jawan Walker came up to make the stop. Eric Field was also involved in the play, as well as Dale Williams. And it's going to be 3rd down at about 5 for Mount Lebanon. The Blue Devils at their own 20-yard line.
Carry a little misdirection play, toss sweep to Matthews, it looked like, and then he cuts it behind the trapping blockers going to the left. So Mount Lebanon's trying to do quite a few things against Prep right now.
Weidel has put it up successfully on that first drive. They marched it from their own 15 to their own 10 and then came away empty when they missed a field goal. Now 3rd and 5. Weidel back to throw. He's under some pressure, and down he goes. For the Ramblers, number 35, Brian White gets the sack, and it's punting time from deep in their own territory for Mount Lebanon.
Gary, Cathedral Prep was very fortunate there. I don't think they had enough people to cover the trips out here, but with that blitzing linebacker, they got a great sack on the quarterback.
And that is 2 sacks. Well, actually 1 sack. They had a hurried throw, hitting Weidel by Eric Field in that first series, and they nearly blocked the punt. I don't know if they got a piece of it. It's a short punt that bounces for Mount Lebanon across the 50, across the 45, and it'll be down there at the 44-yard line. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. The Ramblers have a 7-0 lead. We're in the first quarter in the Quad A Western Finals.
Hi everyone, I'm here at the Home Center and Factory for Lake City Homes. If you're considering a new home, why not take a look at the advantages of modular design? All of these homes are custom built at the factory using plywood, Anderson windows, and genuine oak and maple trim. Inside, no detail is overlooked. Styles, layouts, amenities, it's all your choice. And you know in advance exactly what you're buying, no surprises, no hidden costs. Just quality and value at thousands less by buying direct from the factory. Come walk through the 7 homes here at Lake City Housing and let them put their 27 years of experience into your new home.
1st and 10 Ramblers from their own 44. Jawan Walker trying to find some running room to the outside. Crosses midfield and gets a good 7 yards out of that one, Joe. And one thing that the Woodland Hills had trouble with against Mount Lebanon was getting to the outside. They covered the perimeter pretty well against Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills very similar to Prep in terms of having some speedsters in there, similar to a Tim Dance or a Jawan Walker. And Mount Lebanon just did not let them get outside.
No, Woodland Hills runs a lot of traps, so they really did stifle Woodland Hills. Cathedral Prep there ran a zone play the very first play.
2nd down, about 3. Ball is on the Mount Lebanon side of the field, and Hinkle on a quarterback keeper. Good lead block from the fullback Field is run out of bounds, but not before he picks up a 1st down in front of the Cathedral Prep bench at about the 45-yard line. Charles Rush leading the way, but a good lead block by number 33, Eric Field, allowing Ed Hinkle to pick up that 1st down.
Gary, I'm very impressed with Coach Mishler's game scheme here. He's used quite a few of his athletes already, as we see. He caught Tim Dance, and then now Hinkle running the ball from the quarterback position. So once again, Coach Mishler using all the athletes.
Mike Romiak and Josh Lustig both set up at the top of your screen in the upper left-hand corner out of the I formation. Here comes Jawan Walker, and this time has the going tough, manages to fall forward down to about the 43. Jerry Bromenberger making the stop for the Blue Devils.
The exact same play Walker scored on. A nice little isolation play to the 2-count side.
We'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Western Finals here on Channel 35. And this game is also being aired on Adelphia Channel 20, serving South Hills in the Steel Valley area, suburbs just south of Pittsburgh. So welcome to the fans down there as well. Second down, about 9. Hinkle back to throw. Now in a quarterback draw, fumbles it, picks it up, just like a basketball dribble, and gets some yardage out of it on the positive side, inside the 40 and down to about the 38-yard line. The ball bounced right back to him. And take a look at it again on the replay. Hinkle almost a costly fumble, but he got it right back.
Gary, a design play. They were running trips to the to our left, and Hinkle is going to follow the fullback up there. He got very fortunate to get the ball bounced back up to him.
Prep with some costly turnovers against Altoona that kept Altoona in the game last week. But that time it bounced right back up into Ed Hinkle's hand. So things going for the Ramblers' favor so far here tonight. Third down, though, at about 2. Hinkle with the play action fake. Rolling to his right, throws it down the middle of the field. He throws for Lustig. It's incomplete, but a flag is thrown, and it looks like we'll have a pass interference call against Mount Lebanon. Tim Longren was the man trying to defend Josh Lustig, who came back and gave that gutsy performance of the second half last week. No, it's going to be a holding call. No. He's saying no, it's a holding call against Mount Lebanon. He corrected himself, and you got to like that about an official.
One-on-one pass coverage. Hinkle's going to toss this up to Josh Lustig, and of course number 5 did hold him. We all saw that. He almost came up with the catch. It was a great effort by Lustig there.
All right, so they'll mark the football and put it down at the 27-yard line. Unlike the pros, the pass interference penalty is not put down at the point of the infraction, but rather they mark it off from the line of scrimmage in high school. And so at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10 for Cathedral Prep. They lead in the game 7-0. We've got 2:50 to go here in the first quarter. Taking their first ball possession and driving it down the field, and a 27-yard run by Jawan Walker resulting in the Ramblers score. Hinkle gives it to Walker, and Walker still on his feet, crawling forward inside the 25. Good second effort by Walker to get down to about the 23-yard line, and a gain of 3 or 4 on the play.
Jawan Walker hits the off tackle hole following his fullback. Hit it hard, so he got what he could out of it. Like you said, Gary, he got 3 yards, so he'll be 2nd and 7.
Mount Lebanon won the WPIAL title for the first time in 16 years. So this is unfamiliar territory for this Mount Lebanon football program, at least in the recent past. Second down, about 7. Hinkle on the option play to the right, keeps it himself, can't get to the corner, and is shoved out of bounds after getting maybe only a yard or 2 as number 34, Jerry Broberger, and we've been calling his name a lot here on the early going defensively for Mount Lebanon, as they strung that play out nicely, Joe, and allowed Hinkle not to get that daylight inside to cut it back in or to try to pitch it back as well.
Yeah, it was a lead option again, Gary. Once again, as you said, Mount Lebanon defends that very well. Didn't give Hinkle the opportunity to pitch the ball, so he had to keep it.
2:07 remaining. The clock is stopped on the Hinkle out-of-bounds play, but it's third down and about 6. 3 receivers to the bottom of your screen. And the lone setback. Hinkle back to throw, fires it to Barnes, and he drops the ball at the 15-yard line. He was the inside man in that 3-receiver set to the left of Ed Hinkle. They tried to spread out the defensive backs for Mount Lebo, and Hinkle got him the football. Barnes maybe a little chilled. First play in for a while, didn't hold the football.
Mount Lebanon's trying to get the linebacker to drop underneath there, and he had no opportunity there. Barnes just dropped the football. Nice delivery by Hinkle.
So the Ramblers, who are leading 7-0 with 2:04 remaining here in the first quarter, will call a timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well as the Western Finals continue live from Veterans Stadium with the Ramblers in front by a 7-0 score.
Here at Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, today's physicians are teaching tomorrow's doctors at Northwestern Pennsylvania's only medical school.
LACOM has taken the educational opportunities in the Erie area to a new level. There's only 145 medical schools in the United States, of which only 19 are osteopathic medical schools. So in effect then, Erie's in a very elite group of cities across the United States that can provide medical education.
LACOM, the community is our campus.
Hey Janice, do you want to go to McDonald's?
Come into McDonald's for our new Bacon Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich. Zesty ranch sauce and hickory smoked bacon. A tasty combination from our new taste menu.
Welcome back to Veterans Stadium, along with Chris Hughes and Joe Tarasovich. I'm Gary Drapcho. Prep with a 7-0 lead here, 2:04 remaining in the first quarter. And Prep faced with a 4th down and 6 at the Mount Lebanon 23-yard line. And as you can see, the Ramblers set to go for it. Hinkle straight drop back. Has plenty of room to run at the 20, 1st down, out of bounds at the 15-yard line. And I don't know if that was a design play, but Hinkle certainly saw the daylight on that side. They cleared out that side. The receivers took the defensive back out of that area, and Hinkle had plenty of room to get the 1st down.
Gary, I don't think it was a design play. Eddie Hinkle just made all the receivers covered because Mount Lebanon's playing man-to-man, but he did a great job taking off, following number 68 down the field to get the 1st down.
So Prep makes a big 4th and 6 to keep this drive alive. They mark it at the 14-yard line. It is 1st and 10. Staggered eye behind Hinkle. Trot split out wide to the right. Hinkle gives it to Jawan Walker. He is met in the backfield, but kept his balance enough to fall forward for a couple of yards down to about the 13, maybe the 12-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Ramblers as we're down to 1:45 remaining here in the opening period. Prep has pretty much controlled things. Mount Lebanon took the opening kickoff from their own 15, drove it all the way down to the 10-yard line, then had a holding penalty called against them, which moved it back to the 20. Eventually attempted a 35-yard field goal attempt, which was no good. Prep then got the ball at their own 20, drove it 80 yards with a 27-yard touchdown run by Jawan Walker, capping it off. And now with that 7-0 lead, the Ramblers are threatening again. Here's Hinkle on the option. Turns it upfield at the 5, is down to the 4, and close to another Cathedral Prep 1st down. 34 again, the big linebacker, Jerry Bronberger, perhaps stop Hinkle from taking this option play into the end zone for a Ramblers touchdown.
Lead option again, Gary down below, had Walker, but he decided to keep the ball, and Eddie Hinkle's just as great as a threat as anybody on the field there. He finished off the run real well. One
of the best open field runners that we have seen in this area in a long time. I think you'll agree with that, Joe.
Oh, he reminds me of a lot of his dad. I remember his dad when I was a 6th grader when he ran for Cathedral Prep. His dad was quite a runner in the open field also, so Ed got some blood from his dad to do those skills.
There's the PIAA championship game ball, and the nose of that football just inches short. So it is 3rd down and inches for Cathedral Prep at the 4-yard line. Mount Lebanon beating Woodland Hills last week. They also beat Plum, Penn Hills, and North Hills to run through the WPIAL. And there are some who say, although they've been relatively successful against Erie in the recent past, against your Central team from years ago, McDowell had their problems, Prep had their problems with them until last year. They always say that perhaps the WPIAL championship is the climax of their season, and anything after winning the WPIAL championship is almost like icing on the cake for some of the teams in the Pittsburgh area.
Well, after last year, I think they may have changed their tune a little bit about that now, Gary. The state championship's becoming more important to them.
3rd down and inches from just inside the 5-yard line. Hinkle will hand it to Walker, and Walker is put down right at the 4. It might be close as number 2 comes up for Mount Lebanon, Brian Young, and puts a pretty solid hit on Mr. Walker. We'll wait for the mark of the football and see if the officials make it 4th down. They do. They say 4th down without a measurement. So 4th and inches now for Cathedral Prep just inside the 5-yard line.
It was an onside guard trap. Parsons kicking out the end, the fullback up under the backer, and Mount Lebanon defense did pretty well there, of course, stopping Walker.
Crowd gets up for this one. 4th down. Clock is running down. They're down to 15 seconds. I don't know if they have time without a delay of game penalty before the first quarter comes to an end, but they're trying to hurry it up to the line of scrimmage. 4th down and inches. Down to 3 seconds. 2, 1. Now they get a delay of a game penalty with 2 seconds remaining in the quarter. So they could not run out the first quarter clock before the delay of game occurred. And with 2 seconds remaining, instead of being 4th and inches, it'll be 4th and 5 and inches as they mark it just outside of the 10-yard line.
Gary, a terrible mental mistake for Cathedral Prep here. Once again, when you have only inches, you want to take care of that football there in that situation. Now Coach Mitchell will have to come up with another play.
Well, they made a big 4th and 6 to keep this drive alive, and now Mish is trying to decide whether to send out the field goal kicking team, and it appears that is going to be the choice. They're going to attempt a field goal. Rory Maloney. The ball is placed at the 16-yard line, so a 26-yard field goal attempt is blocked by Mount Lebanon, and Cathedral Prep comes out of it with no points. The delay of game penalty and then the blocked field goal ends the first quarter of play. 1 quarter is in the books. Cathedral Prep has the edge 7-0, and we'll be back. Mount Lebanon has the football when the second quarter begins in just a moment.
One thing, do it well. GMC does one thing, build trucks, and boy do they do it well. Climb into a 2001 GMC Sierra at McQuillan in Girard. What do you like? 2-wheel drive or 4-wheel drive? Regular cab or extended cab? A truck with all the toys or something more basic that'll work just as hard for you? Whatever you need, we have a GMC Sierra that will deliver the power, strength, and refinement you're after at McQuillan Olds Pontiac GMC in Girard.
Hi folks, I'm Karen Kadavy. I'd like to tell you about a sport I absolutely love. A sport that doesn't get the respect it deserves. A sport that isn't on TV nearly enough. To excel, you need to be in top mental and physical condition. You need to practice. You need the right equipment. You need Pro Golf Discount. What sport did you think I was talking about?
Pro Golf Discount, West 12th Street, just east of Powell Avenue.
When you're serious about skate, I mean golf.
Welcome back live here at Veterans Stadium along with Chris Hughes and Joe Tarasovich. I'm Gary Rapcho. We're just about to begin the second quarter. The first quarter ended on a sour note for Prep. They had 4th and inches inside the 5, and then after the delay of game penalty, this attempted field goal is blocked, and it appears that number 2, Brian Young, was the player who got his hand on the football and prevented Prep from putting 3 more points on the board. So from the 11-yard line, Mount Lebanon will begin this second quarter 1st and 10 with the Ramblers in front by a 7-0 score. And Sam Matthews head on as he arrives at the line of scrimmage. Joe Dupre and Phil Lupo coming off the bottom of that pile along with Brian White, Eric Field, and Charles Rush.
An isolation play that Rush made a great play coming off his offensive lineman to help make that stop right away, Gary.
The winner of this game will play Central Bucks West. They were winners in the Eastern Finals this afternoon, beating Bethlehem Catholic by a 27-12 score. And earlier here at the stadium, Aliquippa defeated a very talented Sharon team by a 20-7 score in the AA Western Finals. 2nd down and 9. Here's Whittle on the option play. Can't get to the outside, and down he goes. Tackled by Brian White and Jason Easter.
Gary, an offensive play that Mount Lebanon was using as a sucker play, trying to get everybody to bite on Matthews, and the quarterback's going to try to bounce it around the edge there. Cathedral Prep did a great job. Jason Easter stepping up to make that tackle.
Yeah, you'll see the fake in and out of the belly of Matthews. Whittle hoping that they would go for that fake, but Jason Easter keeping that corner secure, and one of the best open field tacklers in high school football in the state of Pennsylvania. Loss was a yard. 3rd down and 10. Back at the 9-yard line. Here's the pitch to Matthews, trying to find some room to the outside. Breaks 1 tackle, then skips out of bounds at the 15-yard line and does not have a first down. It'll be punting time for Mount Lebanon. So ever since that first drive, Joe, Mount Lebanon has not been able to get anything going offensively. That first drive, they put together a few first downs. As I mentioned earlier, they got it down to the 10-yard line, then missed the field goal eventually. Now on these last 2 possessions, they have had 3 and out.
Toss sweep, power sweep for Mount Lebanon, had no success. Cathedral Prep strung that out. Did a great job getting the momentum out of Mount Lebanon's hands now. So far, we can maybe take this about as Prep.
Spiraling kick taken by Hinkle. And the ever dangerous one comes inside the 40 and gets to about the 37-yard line. Anytime number 11 catches the football, he's dangerous. We'll be right back with the Ramblers up 7-0.
The Fan, Red, King, Nets, Colts, Brown, Baker, Kelly, Ryan, Jeff Davis, Jim Corbin, Joe Moore, reality, fantasy. You gotta like things like that. Sports is who we are. Sports Radio 1330.
If you crack your glass, call Star Auto Glass.
We use original equipment, automotive replacement glass, and certified auto glass professionals. So request Star Auto Glass, where safety and quality matter.
Welcome back to Veterans Stadium Live, along with Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes. I'm Gary Drapcho. Cathedral Prep, excellent field position at their own 37-yard line to start this drive, but Jawan Walker still on his feet. Look at the second effort by Jawan Walker. It was to be about a yard loss, and he turned it into about a 5 or 6 yard gain.
A counter play by Cathedral Prep. Jawan Walker doing a great job of finishing off the run, lowering his shoulder, then not going down when the contact's first made. As we can see here, we got the guard pulling with the fullback underneath there. Walker decides to bounce it outside. What a great effort here. Puts his shoulder down, keeps his feet underneath him.
Tim Longren. Chris Hughes has something for us right after this play. It is second down and about 5. So Walker, as I mentioned, turned a loss into a 5-yard gain. And now Hinkle on the bootleg to the left. Has some room to run. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Cathedral Prep. Ed Hinkle took it on the outside and sped down the far sideline for a Cathedral Prep touchdown.
Gary, it turned out it was supposed to be a pass play, and Hinkle just used his athletic ability directing traffic to his fullback fields to go block for him, and he had the whole sidelines for a touchdown. A super individual effort. Great block by Eric Fields out there.
And with 10-10 remaining here in the second quarter, Cathedral Prep has taken a 13-0 lead. Rory Maloney on to attempt the extra point to the goalpost to our right. Doing it as always out of the hold of backup quarterback Barry Roach. There's the snap, the kick is up, and it is no good. It hit the right upright and bounced back onto the field of play. But the Ramblers add to their lead. We'll be back with their kickoff as Cathedral Prep leads Mount Lebanon in the Western Finals 13-0.
Arthur F. Schultz is America's largest in-store Lazy Boy gallery, and nobody sells Lazy Boy for less.
Oh, buddy.
Arthur F. Schultz has America's lowest factory-authorized prices on quality Lazy Boy recliners and sofas. You'll find pre-holiday savings throughout the store, plus no interest, make no payments till the year 2002. Guaranteed low prices, Pennsylvania's largest selection, and guaranteed satisfaction.
Nobody beats Arthur F. Schultz.
At Doll Campers, we appreciate every customer who walks through our door. Every person who works at Doll Campers is committed to your total satisfaction.
Our commitment is to deliver to our customers the best diamond and jewelry value that they can find anywhere in this region.
Whether you're looking for the perfect diamond engagement ring or the special jewelry gift that will last a lifetime, shop Doll Campers Jewelry Connection.
Welcome back here live at Veterans Stadium as the Ramblers have taken a 13-0 lead. Mark Heidecker teeing the ball up at the 40-yard line as Ed Hinkle runs it in for the touchdown. He and Jawan Walker scoring touchdowns here in the first quarter. One in the first quarter, one in the second quarter, and now Heidegger with the end-over-end kick that'll bounce, be picked up, and then drilled. And it's Jason Easter who comes down and levels the Mount Lebanon's Kevin Eagle, who decided for some reason to let that one bounce, Joe. Kind of a mistake there. Let's get down to Chris Hughes, who's got something for us on the sidelines. Red?
Yeah, Gary, Matt Parsons, of course, a fine two-way lineman for the Ramblers right now, nursing an injured left shoulder. I don't know if it's a stinger, but they've been going underneath his pads and trying to figure out what the problem is. But he's in pain, and he's not on the field, as you can see right now.
That is Mr. Parsons you see on your screen right now. All right, thank you, Red. So Mount Lebanon, which has failed to pick up a first down on their last two possessions, have it at their own 25-yard line, 1st and 10. And Cathedral Prep with the 13-0 lead. 10:07 remaining here in the second quarter. And we've got a timeout for Mount Lebanon. Yes, we do. So we'll take a break as well. Mount Lebanon wants to talk about this offensive series. We'll be back with the Ramblers on top by 13 points.
Introducing the new Chicken Fiesta Melt from Taco Bell. It's so good, it's practically perfect.
Sir, could you please try it before you mess with it?
Grilled white meat chicken smothered in Fiesta salsa and 3 kinds of cheese melted just the way you like it, to perfection. Get it for a limited time at the Bell.
When you're good, computer networking skills make the difference. You're in demand. Gain the competitive edge. You could be as a Microsoft and Novell-trained computer network administrator.
The information technology field is growing dramatically. The demand for career-trained professionals has never been higher. So if you want to be a computer network administrator, don't delay. Call now.
Discover how you can have a competitive edge in today's job market. Call Tri-State Business Institute at 838-7673. That's 838-7673.
Mount Lebanon starting this offensive series from their own 25-yard line. Here's Sam Matthews trying to get outside. Nothing doing thanks to Jason Easter, who is securing that corner, and the little guy, number 4, making sure that Matthews doesn't get around him. And take a look at it on the replay, because again, it's just an outstanding job of keeping your position and forcing Matthews closer and closer to the sidelines before you make the tackle.
Matthews going to have to turn that play up a lot quicker, Gary. The onside guard's kicking out the end, the fullback stretching out to the outside linebacker. If he strings that out, Cathedral Prep will defeat that all day.
To update what Chris Hughes talked about just momentarily, Matt Parsons does have a stinger in his shoulder, and he is out of the lineup momentarily. Here's a little reverse to Harvey. A counter play. Harvey gets to the 30, the 35, and then is pulled down by number 24 of the Ramblers, Donald Brown. But not before he picks up enough for the first down. So Mount Lebanon had to put a little, something a little different in there, Joe, because Sam Matthews running the football wasn't exactly working on the last couple of offensive series. So they went to the sort of reverse or counter play from the wide receiver side for Harvey, and he picked up about 11 yards for a first down.
Gary, a lot of colleges are running this play now. They're bringing that flanker in motion, and everybody expects him to run by the quarterback with a snap, and the ball happens, and they hand it off to him real quick. Very effective play.
See Mount Lebanon shifting with a slot to the left side, and Harvey comes in motion to the bottom of your screen. Weidel back to throw. He's under pressure, steps up, fires down the field, and overthrows his intended receiver, which was Sam Matthews, who came out of the backfield and was running down the field, putting a lot of pressure on Mr. Weidel. Let's go downstairs to Chris Hughes. Red?
Yeah, Gary, last year, of course, in the Western Finals, Prep led Woodland Hills 13-0, and during that Mount Lebanon timeout, Ed Hinkle was in the huddle reminding his teammates that last year they were in the same position leading, as I said, 13-0. Of course, Woodland Hills came back. Prep scored late in the game to win it, so he's trying to get his teammates to keep the focus and maintain this lead in a different fashion than last year.
All right, thank you. Good point there, as the Ramblers lead 13-0, but plenty of time remaining. 9 minutes and 10 seconds here in the second quarter. Mount Lebanon now, second down and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Here's the pitch to Matthews. Matthews turns it back upfield, runs right into Jason Easter, but a flag is thrown from the official on the far side as Matthews ran it out to about the 42-yard line.
Gary, was legal formation on Mount Lebanon. They had too many men in the backfield that time. Number 81, Harvey, never lined up on the line of scrimmage there for Mount Lebanon.
And that is a procedure that is illegal. And that'll cost them 5 yards, nullifying about a 4 or 5 yard gain from Sam Matthews. So it's not getting any better for Mount Lebanon, who trail in the game 13-0. And the type of team Mount Lebanon in, which is pretty much smash mouth football, you have to wonder if they get behind any more than this, whether they have the capacity to come back and make some big plays. They need long drives, and they need the time to do that. But as this game turns towards the half, 13-0 at this point, they may not have an opportunity to come back if they let the Ramblers get any further ahead. Weidel back to throw. Lobs it towards the near sideline. Harvey with a diving catch at the 35-yard line. He had Donald Brown all over him and made a spectacular grab. Wow, that is an impressive catch from James Harvey, the leading receiver on this Mount Lebanon squad.
Gary, a very simple pattern of fade. They're trying to use Harvey's size difference against the Cathedral Prep corners. What a great effort by Harvey. But Gary, I agree with you totally. Mount Lebanon, it's imperative that they score real soon because I don't think they can come back if they fall too much further behind on Cathedral Prep. They don't have the athletes that Woodland Hills has.
And Donald Brown, I think, thought he had an interception. Instead, that's how close he was covering James Harvey, but Harvey came up with the football. Now they give it to Matthews. Near side, handoff, heads to the sideline, rolled out down to about the 31, so he got 4 on the play. And with the type of offense they have, which is basically giving the football to number 3, Sam Matthews, if they can get back into the game, then they can get back to that style of play. But if you're behind by 2 touchdowns, if they would fall behind by 3 touchdowns or stay 2 touchdowns behind, all of a sudden that aspect of your strategy is completely thrown out. Second down, about 7, down to 8:20. Remaining here in the second quarter. Prep on touchdowns by Jawan Walker and Ed Hinkle, both on the ground. Missing the extra point after the second touchdown, lead 13-0. Firing it over the middle and caught for a first down inside the 20, down to the 17-yard line goes Tim Longren.
Gary, the type of offense that I thought Mount Lebanon would have to run would be changing up as we talked about before the game, run, pass, and so they're not, I don't think, getting away from their game plan. They're just going to have to use it a little more often, the passing game.
Right in front of Easter, and before he got to the middle of the field where Ed Hinkle was waiting, finding the seams in that zone, and it's a first down. The ball is at the 17-yard line. So Mount Lebanon, this is their first threat since they took their first possession down to the 10-yard line of Prep and eventually ended up missing a field goal. Here's Matthews straight ahead, banging his way through traffic. Charles Rush in on the tackle. And also coming off the bottom of the pile is number 35 there, Brian White.
It's nice to see White back in there. He came off the field a little bit earlier just with a bad shoulder. Isolation play, Charles Rush came off his man to make a great stop there.
Gain of about 3, so from just inside the 15, Mount Lebo lines it up for second down and 7. Here's the handoff to Matthews. Matthews turns the corner, and then Phil Lupo drags him down, grabbed the hold of his jersey, and drug number 3 to the ground at the 11-yard line. He'll be about 2 or 3 yards short of that first down. Here comes Matthews right at you, and Phil Lupo just wouldn't let go of him.
Matthews does a great job trying to read the stretch there, and Lupo makes a great play running out of the stretch there and getting underneath it there for Cathedral Prep.
No doubt with Mount Lebanon down 13-0 here and just under 7 minutes remaining, halfway through this second quarter. They're in 2-down territory. They give it to Matthews. Matthews trying to get to the outside. Nowhere to go. Coming up to lay the leather to him is Jason Easter. He came up and pounded Matthews for a loss back at the 15-yard line, where it will be 3rd down and 7.
Gary, Mount Lebanon this time ran the stretch. Little guard coming outside, trying to get to the outside back with the fullback lead. Cathedral Prep just stepping up there. Their corners are making a great effort there. Easter made a super play there.
4th down. And let's see what they do here. It is 13-0 Prep. 6:15. Clock is running. Mount Lebanon, it appears, we'll be going for it here on 4th down rather than try to put 3 on the board. Remember, they missed a 35-yard field goal earlier. They are going to try to get this 4th down and 7 from the 14-yard line. Back goes Weidel. Looking, throws over the middle, incomplete. Hinkle defending on the play, and Cathedral Prep takes the ball over at their own 14-yard line, again snuffing out a Mount Lebanon scoring opportunity. We'll be right back in just a moment. Okay, we'll stay right here this time. You were talking about Mount Lebanon, imperative that they score before the half and cut this lead in half. This one didn't quite work out. Good coverage by Hinkle over the middle here.
Great man-to-man coverage by Cathedral Prep. Lebanon, I really believe, how to score that possession there. If Prep takes it down here, they'll really be in trouble.
So now the defense has to come up big. And Jawan Walker dancing his way up over the 15, gets about to the 17, 18-yard line. About 4 yards on the play. Walker ran one in from 27 yards out to give Cathedral Prep their first touchdown. Hinkle took one in from 25 yards out in the second quarter. on a bootleg that he kept on going and rushed it down the far sideline and into the end zone for a touchdown. They did miss the extra point when Maloney's kick hit the upright on the right side, and thus we have the 13-0 lead for the Ramblers, who have a 2nd down and 7 at their own 17-yard line. Hinkle turns and gives the ball to Walker, and that time Mount Lebanon has it jammed up pretty good.
Cathedral Prep trying to run the onside guard out to the end and ISO the fullback up on the linebacker, and Mount Lebanon did a great job defending that play right there. I don't think they got a yard on the gain at all, Gary.
3rd down. Big defensive stand for Mount Lebanon as they trail 13-0. We're down to about 4:50 remaining here in the first half, and the Blue Devils would like to get the ball back one more time before the half to try to get a cut and an opportunity to cut into the Ramblers lead. Hinkle with a long count on 3rd and 6. Rolls to his right, looks to throw. Dumps it down the field, and Eric Field can't catch up with it. Had to turn in midair to try to catch it, and wasn't able to do so at the 35-yard line. So the Lebo defense does their job, forcing Cathedral Prep to punt for the very first time tonight, I believe.
Hinkle had a few men open on this play, his tight end, and of course Eric Fields out of the backfield. He just overthrew both of them. And as you said, Gary, Mount Lebo did their job to get the ball back, and I think it's very important if they try to score, at least try to get 3 going into the halftime.
And they should get the ball in relatively good field position as Hinkle stands back at his 5 to await the snap from center. Sam Matthews, the dangerous back for Lebo, is the deepest of the 3 backs, and he'll pick up the ball on the run at the 50. Comes up over the 45, goes to the outside at the 40. Matthews at the 30, down the sideline at the 20. There he goes, Sam Matthews, touchdown for Mount Lebanon. And just like that, the Blue Devils are right back in the game on a 55-yard punt return by Sam Matthews with 4:09 remaining in the first half. It's now 13-6, and there were no flags.
What a play by a great running back. He let the ball hit the ground because Hinkle kicked a low-line drive kick here. He picks it up, comes up the gut here, Gary, and then all of a sudden he's going to run that thing east and west. Then he picks up a few blocks down the sidelines and just outruns everybody.
The ever-dangerous Matthews. Here's the all-important extra point. It's good, so Mount Lebanon is on the board, and we've got a football game. 13-7, the Ramblers lead cut in half. We'll be back in just a moment. More of the Quad A Western Finals.
More jewelry than ever before. That's what you'll find at Dempsey & Baxter Jewelers. More diamonds, more gold, more silver, and more jewelry than any other store. And all of it is the finest quality at tremendous savings every day. Plus, with 4 in-store jewelers, Dempsey & Baxter can create whatever you would like. Choose from thousands of gold chains, bracelets, charms, and coin jewelry, often at half the price you'd pay elsewhere. Shop smart. Shop Dempsey & Baxter for high-quality diamonds and unusual jewelry at unbeatable prices. Stop in today. Dempsey & Baxter, 1009 East 38th Street.
Welcome back to the Quad A Western Finals, and a 55-yard punt return by Sam Matthews has breathed new life into this Mount Lebanon challenge. Look at the near clip on Ed Hinkle. The number 5 for Mount Lebanon, Tim Longren, just backed off at the last minute and prevented himself from hitting Hinkle, which would have been a clipping penalty. And that allowed Matthews to streak into the end zone and for his touchdown to count. So the lead is 6 now here as the ever-dangerous Tim Dance, speaking of dangerous return men, stands back near his goal line to await the kickoff.
Gary, that was a very important touchdown because Cathedral Prep, of course, is going to get the ball at the beginning of the second half. So once again, finding some, daylight for Mount Lebanon.
Here's Jawan Walker picking up a low squibber and carrying it out to the 35-yard line, where Cathedral Prep, with 4:04 remaining here until halftime, will have it 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Well, you got some great returners here. Anytime Ed Hinkle gets his hands on the football on the punt returns, Tim Dance, we saw that miraculous season-saving kickoff return against Altoona last week. And now we see Sam Matthews, their 1,000-yard runner, run a punt back 55 yards to get Mount Lebanon right back in this ball game. And some movement on the Prep offensive line will cost the Ramblers 5 yards. And the last thing you want to do is make it tough on yourself, Joe, especially when Mount Lebanon appears to have some momentum. They stopped prep. They ran the punt back for a touchdown. Now they're going to try to stop prep again and get the ball maybe one more time before the half.
And Gary, I think you said an important thing there. They're going to try to get the ball back. There's 4 minutes left in this quarter. There's a lot of time.
Matt Parsons, who had that stinger in his shoulder, back in the football game. And here comes Jawan Walker, jammed up in the middle, tries to churn his way forward, and only has about a 2-yard gain out of it. Mount Lebanon tightening up things defensively in the last couple of series, Joe. What's been the difference?
Mount Lebanon's running their 4-3. I believe they're stepping their linebackers up into their gaps a little harder this time. Cathedral Prep's trying to run an ISO there, and number 75 from Mount Lebanon came off his block with another linebacker coming off there. So Mount Lebanon might be trying to stun a little more now.
Well, the WPIAL's been perfect in the Western Finals this year so far. Rochester, West Allegheny, and Aliquippa all heading to the States in their respective classes. Here's Hinkle on the bootleg. Turns it up the field, is belted down at the 35-yard line. The combination there of Brian Young and Tim Longren drives the senior quarterback for Cathedral Prep to the turf at the 35-yard line. It's very close to a first down. Take a look at it again.
Cathedral Prep running lead option. Mount Lebanon takes away Walker right away, so Hinkle had to keep the ball. And their linebacker from Mount Lebanon came off and made a great play there, number 2.
Actually, the hit by Tim Longren, number 5, is the one that kind of moved Hinkle forward a couple of yards. Third down, and we'll call it about 10. He got the 5 yards back on the procedure penalty. Now 3rd and 10. Hinkle steps him in the pocket. They've got him trapped, trying to get away, but not this time. They sack Ed Hinkle back at the 33-yard line, and it's number 8, Michael Kiefer, who is in on the tackle. And watch Hinkle this time steps up, didn't find a receiver, and number 9, Kiefer, is the man who makes the tackle, joined then by a host of other Lebanon defenders. And for the second straight offensive series, the Ramblers are forced to punt. And there's Sam Matthews standing back at his own 35-yard line awaiting the punt from Ed Hinkle. Hinkle's going to kick it away from Matthews this time, and it will bounce out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 32-yard line. So Mount Lebanon will get the ball back with 2 minutes and 1 second remaining, and we'll take a timeout with the Ramblers leading by 6.
Ho, ho, ho! What can I get for you, little boy?
Santa Langer, I need an energy-efficient furnace to keep my family warm all winter.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Langer's elves can deliver and install a furnace this winter so your family is warm and comfortable.
Santa Langer, I'm not sure what my family needs.
Ho, ho, ho! How about a hot water heater to give you plenty of hot water year-round?
Happy holidays from H. Jack Langer Plumbing.
No problem. Happy holidays.
Gary Drapcho along with Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes live here from Veterans Stadium, Mount Lebanon. Trailing the Ramblers 13-7 with 2:01 remaining here in the second quarter. Have the football at their own 32-yard line. Weidel gives it to Matthews on a draw, and Matthews trips and falls as he crosses the 30 and got back near the line of scrimmage.
Gary, a very well-designed play by Mount Lebanon on the draw. If Matthews doesn't slip there, I think he's got some big yardage there.
Yeah, it looked pretty wide open.
They had some great blockers on the most dangerous prep defender, Dupre.
Joe Dupre, number 40. You see him being double-teamed there. 125 and counting. Second down and 10. 13-7. Mount Lebanon trailing by 6. Again, they give it to Matthews on the delay. Matthews this time doesn't get away. Fumbles the football. It's loose. Who's got it? No signal just yet. Also, was Matthews down when the ball popped loose? Things that they're trying to figure out here. But Joe Dupre was the man who hit Matthews on the delay. Ball was popped loose. You see a lot of pointing, but none of the officials have made the call yet, and those are the ones who count.
Gary, I guess
give it back to Mount Lebanon, and my only guess is that Matthews was ruled down by the field. You see Dupre coming in here.
Fool me once, no, you're not going to fool him again. He makes a great play coming off his block to make the stop here on Matthews. And I think number 68 from Mount Lebanon recovers the fumble, Gary.
Well, the ball is definitely loose, yeah, and apparently number 68. He did not fumble it when he hit the turf. It was a definite fumble caused by the tackle by Joe Dupre, and Mount Lebanon just came up with it. Third down, though, and 12. Pitch to Matthews. Trying to get to the outside. Is banged down as White is over there. Field and Easter all forcing that play back to the inside. And Charles Rush and Joe Dupre. And Dupre looks a bit hurt. Let's go down to Chris Hughes on the field. Red?
Yeah, Gary, when Prep punted on its last possession, Ed Hinkle had a chance. He didn't take the advantage of it, but the blockers on the gunners on the outside for Mount Lebanon never looked and just turned and headed back downfield to block for a return. But don't be surprised in the second half if Hinkle takes off and runs when he's in punt formation.
All right, we'll certainly check that out. We'll take a timeout, though, here with Cathedral Prep leading 13-7. We'll be right back with more of the Quad A Western Finals.
Forest Park Arctic-Cat has all kinds of new Arctic-Cats in stock, like the awesome new ZRs. These race-proven rockets are the sleds that everyone is trying to catch. And right now, you can catch a new ZR 600 or 800 at Forest Park Arctic-Cat. Also, check out the great selection of sleek trail-hugging ZLs. Forest Park has an Arctic-Cat for everyone in the family, including the Z120 for the kids. If this is your year to get a new Arctic-Cat, then head over to Forest Park Arctic-Cat on Westlake Road and do it.
Welcome back. Cathedral Prep leading 13-7. It is 4th down and 10. And right after this punt, we'll show you that last play on replay and perhaps where Dupre had his knee twisted up again. Remember, he hurt his knee in the Alderdice game, played hurt against Altoona. Kick to the ever-dangerous Ed Hinkle. He'll pick it up on one bounce at the 30. Heads to the sidelines and is tackled from behind, pulled down on a nice play by Michael Kiefer at the 41-yard line. And that is where Prep will take over with 24 seconds remaining until halftime. Let's check out that last play on 3rd down, the pitch to Matthews. And you'll see to the left, number 40, Joe Dupre slipping on the turf. And that is where his right knee kind of buckled underneath him. And he twisted it again, and that is the knee that has been the concern of Joe Dupre and the Cathedral Prep coaching staff over the last couple of weeks.
Gary, you know, those are the things that really worry the coach, are those turf injuries, as we call them. I remember losing Randy Carson on turf, that's 5-6 years ago already, but sometimes those are worse than when you would get hit.
And Red had mentioned right at the beginning of the game that the turf here at Veterans Stadium, because of the combination of snow and ice and very bitter cold temperatures, all that over the last couple of weeks here has made this turf very, very hard. And I would imagine pretty icy. There's just a sort of a glaze of moisture on top of the turf that's no doubt is ice right now with temperatures in the 20s.
It's only going to get worse probably, Gary, as the night goes on.
Officials are discussing something. We're not sure exactly what, as they're huddled up. I didn't see any flags on the last play. There are 17 seconds remaining, 17 seconds remaining in the half. Now the officials have figured out whatever they have done so. And from the 41-yard line, Prep will have 17 seconds to do something about it. They lead 13-7. Ramblers scored on runs by Jawan Walker and Ed Hinkle, missing the extra point after the second score to make it 13-0. And then a 55-yard punt return by Sam Matthews of Mount Lebanon has cut the lead to 13-7. And we saw that miss extra point almost haunt the Ramblers against Altoona last week when they trailed 7-6 late in the game because of that miss extra point. And then Altoona missed an extra point late in the game that came back to haunt them. But the Ramblers still have the 6-point lead. 17 seconds remaining as Hinkle lines them up at the 41-yard line. He'll go back to throw. He'll throw deep. He goes for Lustig, and Lustig has it at the 10 into the end zone. A touchdown. They went for it all with 17 seconds remaining, and Josh Lustig, who has missed the last 4 or 5 weeks because of a broken collarbone, came back to play in the second half against Altoona last week and contributed with a touchdown catch. Comes up with a spectacular catch. Watch it.
Gary, this is just a great effort. What a story we're going to have for years with Lustig coming back here. Harvey almost had the interception. Great concentration by Lustig to take it in for the touchdown.
And my question to Mount Lebanon is, how can you let Josh Lustig, the go-to man for Cathedral Prep, get behind you with 17 seconds remaining?
Gary, they had trips down below here and leave Lustig all by himself to really spreading out Mount Lebanon quite a bit. Mount Lebanon's going to have to pull a backer out maybe to get double team on Lustig if Cathedral Prep keeps doing that formation to them.
All right, so it is now 19-7. And after the long touchdown pass, which covered 59 yards from Ed Hinkle to Josh Lustig, the Ramblers may be thinking about going for 2 here, leading 19-7 with 8 seconds remaining. So Cathedral Prep has been a team, Joe, of big plays all year. And there's nothing worse, I think, to a team than to put a stinger on them like that right before they go to the half.
Well, Gary, we mentioned it before the game, using all their athletes, using all their weapons, and Coach Mishler's doing that very importantly. And this is a 2-point conversion that's very important, I think, for Cathedral Prep. So we'll see what Coach Mishler comes up with.
Mishler calling the timeout. He had 1 to waste here, and with only 8 seconds remaining, he was able to use it to try to design this 2-point play and put the Ramblers up by 14. They lead 19-7. And the snap is bobbled, and the 2-point conversion will fail. But Prep has taken a 19-7 lead here in the Quad A Western Finals, and we'll be back. No, well, we won't be back. There's only 8 seconds remaining, so we'll stay right here and get the Cathedral Prep kickoff against Mount Lebanon. Lustig coming up with the big catch, Joe, and you talk about a kid who broke his collarbone late in the season, didn't play in the last part of the season in the district championship game against Aldernice, was really not supposed to play against Altoona, but because the Ramblers had their backs to the wall, he was pressed into service, caught that touchdown pass in overtime against Altoona, and here with 8 seconds remaining in the first half comes up with this dandy.
Gary, there's so many people questioning if the young man should be playing, but of course, as we know, his dad is Dr. Lustig. He made the decision to let his son play. The collarbone looks fine to me catching that touchdown pass.
Yes, and it helps to have a doctor on the staff at home, so to speak.
Absolutely.
All right, Lustig's catches made it 19-7. We're glad you could join us here for the Quad A Western Finals. The thriller against Altoona last week leading up to this. And, of course, the winner of this game, we certainly have things in favor of Cathedral Prep right now, but a lot of football left. But the winner will take on Central Bucks West at Hershey Park Stadium next Saturday at 5 o'clock. That is the state championship Quad A game. Central Bucks West winning the Eastern Finals this afternoon by a 27-12 count over Bethlehem Catholic. Hey, Heidecker fell down trying to kick it. That was not an intended onside kick. He simply slipped on this turf, something we're seeing more and more of as this game progresses. And that glaze of moisture and the hardness of this turf from all the weather we've experienced over the last couple of weeks seems to be now affecting the players' footing.
Cathedral Prep better come out and get a prevent on, because I know they didn't want to give Mount Lebanon this field possession for a Hail Mary pass, so they'll probably line up in a little prevent defense for us here.
And Cathedral Prep was not allowed to touch the football until it went 10 yards. Mount Lebanon's going to take a timeout. 7 seconds remaining here until the end of the half. And we'll be heading downstairs to Chris Hughes. He'll have some halftime guests for us. We'll go over this first half as touchdowns by Jawan Walker on Cathedral Prep's first possession. And then an Ed Hinkle bootleg touchdown, followed then by a Sam Matthews 55-yard punt return from Mount Lebanon that made it 13-7. And then the 59-yard pass play from Ed Hinkle to Josh Lustig to make it 19-7. Glad you could join us for all the action here on Channel 35. Very happy and proud to bring you this exciting ending to a high school football season. And boy, it's a long season when you think about what these kids have to go through starting in the middle of the summer, Joe, to get to this point. Here it is, the second day of December.
Gary, I don't think people realize that a lot of these young men will start in January with lifting, and then the summer months come in June where they're doing that extra double lifting plus workouts. It's a long season. Got to give these boys a lot of credit.
Well, let's see if Weidel and the Mount Lebanon offense try to go for the Hail Mary pass with 7 seconds remaining here until halftime. He goes back to throw. He's going to heave it up. Down the near sideline, batted up into the air and incomplete as time runs out, ending this first half of play. The Ramblers are 24 minutes from a return trip to Hershey and a rematch with Central Bucks West in the Quad A championship game. They lead at 19-7 here at halftime of our Quad A Western Final. We'll be back with our halftime interviews and analysis of the first half in just a moment as our coverage continues live from Veterans Stadium in just a moment.
Have you been involved in an auto accident? Before you speak with the insurance company's claims adjuster, you need to speak with an experienced personal injury attorney.
Dennis Krill, a personal injury attorney with over 20 years experience in the Erie area. Auto accident, medical malpractice, and wrongful death cases, call today for your free consultation.
Experience matters. Don't settle for less.
When I'm car shopping and the weather's like this outside, you need to come inside, like these guys, to our 72-degree showroom at #1 Champion Ford. There's over 100 vehicles indoors. Used vehicle shoppers, get a $2,500 guaranteed trade-in allowance for your old car, no matter what shape it's in. New vehicle shoppers, get 0.9% financing on these new SUVs. Or new Ford Tauruses start at just $15,888. And remember, it's always 72 degrees inside at #1 Champion Ford. Yeah, that's the place.
Does it bother you when people say, are you ready for the holidays?
Yes, it does, because it makes me think of all my unfinished gift shopping.
This year, I'm going to be easy on myself with gifts that
need no wrapping and fit anyone who has a car.
Oil change gift certificates and gift wrap copies of Drive It Forever.
Well, bring on the holidays. I think I've finished my shopping.
I didn't know the elves came in sets.
Neither did I. They look like twins.
Helping you and your car keep pace. The Oil Change Place, 6400 Peach.
A big screen TV, a home computer, or $1,000 cash. It's our holiday buyer's bonus here at John Regala's in Andover, Ohio. Hi, I'm John Regala. Here in Andover, we have over 500 vehicles in inventory. And when you buy yours before Christmas, you get your choice of these 3 great items. Check this out. A 2000 Buick LeSabre that was $21,900, now just $18,900. Any dealer can say they give you more. At John Regala Chevrolet Buick Pontiac, we're proving it. Come see us today in Andover, Ohio.
Welcome back here live from Veterans Stadium to the Quad A Western Final, where at the half, Cathedral Prep leads at 19-7. The usual halftime antics at a Cathedral Prep football game. There's the final P that the crowd always enjoys. It may not be as exciting as a 100-piece marching band, but the Prep fans certainly love it. Joe Tarasovich.
Gary, as we discussed earlier in the game, Cathedral Prep using all their athletes for this lead. Coach Mishler not really hiding anything. He's going to throw the ball to Lustig, Dance. Of course, he's going to run Walker on plays. So Coach Mishler has to be real happy with his first half. And more importantly, his defense. His defense has slowed down a pretty doggone good running team by Mount Lebanon, and we have to be real happy with that.
All right, 19-7 in favor of the Ramblers here at the half. And let's send it downstairs for a halftime interview. Here's Chris Hughes.
Thank you, Gary. We're joined with Bill Fontana, by Bill Fontana, I should say, at Fox Sports Pittsburgh. He hosts the show, which will air tomorrow at noon, the practice, and it's usually about high school football. Thanks for joining us. First of all, Bill, any surprises for you as far as you're concerned here in the first half?
No, I just think that Erie Cathedral Prep, when you take a look at their rankings, ranked 5th in the USA today, I thought that Mount Lebanon would give them a good football game because their record is a bit deceiving. Their line is very big up front, and Matthews had been hurt earlier in the year, and since he's gotten healthy, he's been the key for them, but also Harvey's a good football player, and Wido's a pretty good quarterback, but I'm very much impressed with Cathedral Prep, especially on the touchdown pass. I understand that Lustig called an audible, and just a great call, and your quarterback's on the money. He's tough, along with Dupre, and they're a great football team.
Now, this Mount Lebanon team, you mentioned, they're 11-2, so the record may be a little deceiving. Losing early in the year, 27-0 in North Hills, turn around and beat them 21-7 in the playoffs. Is this fairly typical in the WPIAL, where a team may start out a bit sluggishly and then turn it around?
Well, there might be some truth to what you say, but the people in Western Pennsylvania in that area feel that that's a very, very tough conference, as evidenced by what has happened so far today. You have Rochester, who won last night, and Aliquippa. That's just an incredible story with a quarterback by the name of Josh Lay, who breaks his leg in arm, in the championship game on a diving tackle of a Waynesburg receiver going in. Then the simple fact, he intercepts 2 passes. Today he comes up big again, and a lot of moxie by that football team. The number's only 31 there, but they're prejudiced in that area. They feel that, hey, they play a tougher schedule.
And, you look at the history of the Western Final, at least the recent history, 7-2, the WPIAL beating the Erie teams, I guess, in this round. Do you feel like the Erie teams are catching up a little bit? I mean, in the early 90s, most of the games were routes, frankly.
Well, I just think that you guys are in a very precarious situation because when you look, we like to say we're from the West. So regardless of when the WPIALs goes or not, when Erie Cathedral Prep, should they get to Hershey, I want them to win for the simple fact they're from my neighborhood. But the fact of the matter is the precarious situation is like Sharon having to pay Berwick twice. You guys have to go up against Central Bucks West. That is just a monster out east. And from the standpoint of double, triple, and quad A, I mean, let's face it, Chris, obviously the powerhouses are in the east.
And, you know, you look at the WPIAL over the years, the WPIAL championship is really the main prize, it seems. There's this train of thought that says once a Pittsburgh team wins the WPIAL, the rest is just icing on the cake. Is that true? Do you agree with that?
Most definitely, especially in the early years of the state playoffs. Now it's catching up a bit. But teams that have never been to the Western Regional, they do let down. And that's because of the proximity and the press that's involved with it. So you're right, you have a point.
Okay, Bill, I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the second half, and good luck with your program.
Good luck to prep.
Okay, Bill Fontana from Fox Sports Pittsburgh, of course, regularly covering the WPIAL. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll be talking with Jimmy Smith, the Cathedral Prep baseball coach. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a new truck, come where the selection is best. Chevy Truck Central, Kramer Motors, Northeast. We have both Chevy Silverado and S10 pickups in every size and style. We also have the all-new heavy-duty trucks from Chevy on the lot now. And Kramer's has the popular sport utilities, Blazer, Tahoe, Suburban, and Tracker. So many choices, so attractively priced, and so conveniently located. Chevy Truck Central, Kramer Motors, Northeast.
Hi, I'm Neil Mann from Erie Audiology.
And I'm Allison Keenan.
For over 30 years, I've been providing audiology services to people in the Erie community.
Now I'm bringing my 18 years of practice. Together we have over 50 years experience in helping people with hearing loss.
We provide comprehensive hearing tests and offer a complete line of Widex digital and traditional hearing aids.
If you have trouble hearing, we can help. At Erie Audiology, we are committed to providing excellence in hearing health care.
Are you ready for the ultimate riding experience? Then stop in and see the pros at Forest Park Ski-Doo and check out the Ski-Doo MXZ 800 snowmobiles. These sleds are designed for razor-sharp handling and serious mogul taming. Forest Park Ski-Doo also has Formula Deluxe 500 and 600 models. They also carry the Mini Z for the kids. These sleds will provide you with the latest technology in snowmobiles. So come on into Forest Park Ski-Doo at 3339 Westlake Road and prepare to be amazed.
Don't you have some math to do?
In a minute!
Why wait?
Math helps us analyze data, track patterns.
Invest in our future.
And algebra gives us a way to make sense of information.
To solve problems. Using geometry, we can design anything.
It's so cool. We can change things.
Make better things. Invent new things.
Started on your math yet?
Yeah! Do math, and you can do anything.
I can listen.
I can cook.
Good. I can coach.
Kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
I can drive.
I can paint.
I can dance.
A little of your time can make a lifetime of difference.
I can read.
I can help. You can help. Call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313 to find out about community drug prevention programs.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
What is the most influential time in a child's life? Age 6, 8, 12? Actually, it's between 3 and 8 every afternoon. That's the time a kid is most likely to get into trouble. Which is exactly why that's the time the Boys and Girls Clubs open their doors every day. These clubs provide a positive environment where kids can learn and grow and prepare for their future. Support the Boys and Girls Clubs, the positive place for kids.
What is a hero? Are heroes born, or are they made? In after-school programs, your kids will uncover hidden strengths, discover they have the power to change their future, and find the hero inside themselves. Let us know you on after-school programs in your area. Call 1-800-USA-LEARN. After-school programs, helping kids find the hero within.
Do all the things you love to do without glasses or contacts. Contemporary Ophthalmology of Erie makes it possible, whether you're nearsighted, farsighted, or you have astigmatism. Dr. Howard Levin is the region's only physician to offer all types of LASIK vision correction, the only one to offer LASIK surgery in a hospital setting, and now more affordable than ever. For the best care of your vision, take a look at Contemporary Ophthalmology. Call today for more information or a free LASIK consultation.
Admittedly, I don't resemble Santa, but with our holiday gift collection, Contemporary Motor Car does resemble Santa's workshop. Anyone would love this Mercedes convertible, but if that's slightly beyond your budget, consider Mercedes-Benz sportswear, such as golf shirts, jackets, and caps, pedal cars for the young Mercedes buffs, and we have a full line of miniature Mercedes-Benz cars, from playthings to fine collectibles. We'll also gladly order other sports car brand merchandise. For little kids or big kids, the best toys are at Contemporary Motor Car.
Planning a party? Be sure to invite your neighborhood country fair for a delicious and festive party tray. Choose from 5 popular made-to-order trays, or select your own favorite assortment of fresh deli meats, cheeses, and salads. Simply stop in or phone ahead, and Country Fair will create a colorful feast for 2 or for 200. You can get those other party fixings too when you pick up your party tray. When you're planning your party, invite your friends with the best taste in the neighborhood. Country Fair.
Mecco welcomes you into the new millennium. The Business Environment Center, your full-service office furniture dealer, creating solutions for workplace performance.
Welcome back to a frigid Veterans Stadium. We're at halftime of the Quad A Western Finals. Cathedral Prep leads Mount Lebanon 19-7. Very exciting first half of play. We're now joined by Jim Smith, the new baseball coach at Cathedral Prep. First of all, Jim, we'll start with your dinner coming up. January 19th at the Avalon. You're going to have Todd Jones, who should be the American League Reliever of the Year, the Fireman of the Year, led the AL in saves. He's coming in, an old buddy of yours. Should be a big night for you.
Yeah, this is probably going to be one of the biggest baseball nights in Erie history with Todd coming in. He's going to bring a bunch of stuff from Detroit with him from the last game at Tiger Stadium. We're going to be auctioning off a baseball from that lineup card. He's also going to have auctioning off to be a bat boy and bat girl for a day there, throwing out the first pitch, being part of the Tiger Den. He said he wants to make this the biggest thing that ever happened in Erie baseball history and in prep baseball history.
Of course, you played minor league baseball in the Royals chain. You played for the Memphis Chicks at Tim McCarver Stadium. And Jim Shar, of course, just recently stopped playing baseball. He's now going to go to Duke and be a football player. Can you relate with Jim and his decision to get out of the game?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you know, you make it so far, and just a daily grind, and there's so many different things that happen. I mean, everyone thinks that once you make it, you know, it's the talent will take you so far. And you know, Jim gave it his best shot, and you know, maybe things would have worked out different, but I think he made a good decision. You know, he gave it the best that he could, and now he's going to move on.
Of course, you were a standout at Academy High School. I think I batted against you once and didn't have a chance. But anyway, now, of course, your school doesn't exist anymore, and now you're with Cathedral Prep, so you've changed allegiances. What are your thoughts on the first half here? It was a pretty exciting brand of football.
Oh, yeah, it's great. You know, speaking of the Academy situation, you know, when I went to Academy, it was an academic school. Now they reversed that. Now it's not as good as it was, but no, the first half was exciting. I was expecting a high-scoring game myself because I thought that with the coaching staffs from seeing the tapes from last week would just come out with all the bags of tricks. But it's kind of a low-scoring game, but I think the weather has a lot to do with that, as we can tell right now.
It should be an interesting second half as well.
Yeah.
Good luck to you, Jim,
hey, thanks,
with Cathedral Prep in your first year as coach.
Appreciate it.
Okay, Jim Smith, the Cathedral Prep baseball coach. We are at the intermission here at Veterans Stadium. It is cold. It's 19-7. The Ramblers on top. We'll take a quick break. We come back. We should be just about ready for the second half kickoff with Gary Drapcho and Joe Tarasovich, so stay with us. We'll be back.
Over the years, Hammett Sports Medicine has treated some big-time athletes. But we've also helped countless big dreamers and weekend warriors get back to the bigger things in life. Hammett Sports Medicine. Training, treatment, and therapy for all kinds of athletes.
Hi everyone, I'm here at the Home Center and Factory for Lake City Homes. If you're considering a new home, why not take a look at the advantages of modular design? All of these homes are custom built at the factory using plywood, Anderson windows, and genuine oak and maple trim. Inside, no detail is overlooked. Styles, layouts, amenities, it's all your choice. And you know in advance exactly what you're buying, no surprises, no hidden costs. Just quality and value at thousands less by buying direct from the factory. Come walk through the 7 homes here at Lake City Housing and let them put their 27 years of experience into your new home.
Here at Lake Erie College of Osteopathic Medicine, today's physicians are teaching tomorrow's doctors at Northwestern Pennsylvania's only medical school.
The faculty at LECOM is excellent, many of which are practicing or active physicians.
LECOM has become the premier resource for healthcare education in Northwestern Pennsylvania. We expect the community, its physicians, and healthcare providers to look towards LECOM as that regional source.
LECOM, the community is our campus.
Hey Janice, do you want to go to McDonald's?
Come into McDonald's for our new Bacon Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich. Zesty ranch sauce and hickory smoked bacon. A tasty combination from our new taste menu.
Welcome back to the Quad A Western Finals, live from Veterans Stadium. I'm Gary Drapcho, along with Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes. 19-7 in favor of the Ramblers at the half. Both teams gradually working themselves out of the locker room and back onto the playing surface. And speaking of the playing surface, Joe, we saw a lot of slipping and sliding late in that first half. It's frigid, as Chris Hughes mentioned during the halftime interviews. I mean, we've got to be dipping down close to 20, maybe into the teens. That little bit of moisture. Matter of fact, let's go down to Chris Hughes and find out if the field's truly becoming a frozen tundra down there, Red. What's the story?
It is frozen. There's no question about that, and it's rock hard. You saw some players slipping there in the second quarter. I don't know if it's because of that, but it is as hard as it's ever been. Interesting point to make, Gary. They have heaters. They had heaters for the bench areas. Cathedral Prep had 6 of them that they wanted to use for this game. PIAA said, no, you're not allowed to do that. So some of the players who aren't in the game are pretty much freezing as they stand there on the sidelines.
All right, interesting point. I guess the PIAA tries to make it fair on both sides. And for the second half, the Ramblers have the hot hand, if you will, going into the locker room with a 19-7 lead. They're back out on the turf. Mount Lebanon has yet to make an appearance. And in case you've just joined us, a 27-yard run by Jawan Walker on Cathedral Prep's first possession put the Ramblers on the board first. They led 7-0 after the extra point. Then a 35-yard run bootleg by Ed Hinkle went in for a score. They missed the extra point but led 13-0. Sam Matthews then returned a punt 55 yards for a touchdown for Mount Lebanon. The extra point cut the lead to 13-7. And then with only 17 seconds remaining in the half, and maybe when we look back at this game, Joe, at the end, we'll say this was the key play. 13-7, 6-point game. But Mount Lebanon, I'm sure, would have been glad to take that 6-point deficit into the halftime locker room. Instead, this happened. Ed Hinkle with 17 seconds left, 59 yards to Josh Lustig. The tip by Harvey, it tips into the hands of Lustig, who kind of cradles it in his knee on his leg and carries it into the end zone for a touchdown with only 17 seconds left. They went for a 2-point conversion. That failed, but it still gave Cathedral Prep a 19-7 lead at the half and a much more comfortable feeling than had it been 13-7 at the half. A big play without a doubt late in that first half, Joe.
Gary, both coaches came out very impressive. Cathedral Prep using their athletes, trying to do multiple things to score. Their defense did a nice job against Mount Lebanon, who comes out with and tries to formation you to death. But I think what we're starting to see here is Mount Lebanon is pretty much one-dimensional. They're going to go to Matthews on the running game, and of course Harvey on the passing game. We saw a lot of trips formations and spread out formations about Mount Lebanon, but it's always been Harvey that the quarterbacks went to.
By the way, the officials tonight's game are from Mercer County. Referee Jack Thorne, Bob Heitch, the umpire, Bob Anderson, the linesman. The line judge is Jerry Young, John Pietek, the back judge, Terry Ruffo, the side judge, and the field judge is Jim Bestwick. So Mercer County officials doing this Quad A Western Final between Cathedral Prep and Mount Lebanon. Of course, the Ramblers will get the ball first here to start the second half, and so things are more or less in their favor. Mount Lebanon, of course, coming into this game, having upset Woodland Hills, and really bringing the same type of team that Altoona had a week ago, in which they just try to run the ball right at you. And Sam Matthews, actually, as we take a look at some of the first half stats, did have a pretty good half. He carried the ball 16 times for 75 yards. He had that one long 35-yard run during Mount Lebanon's first possession that was a huge chunk of that. But other than that, of course, his punt return of 55 yards was his biggest run. Other than that long run, they've pretty much held him in check. Jason Easter has done a great job of pinching the corner and not letting him go outside, as they always try to go to that right with Matthews. And Easter, the defensive back on that side, simply has not been able to, has not allowed Sam Matthews to get inside and turn the corner on that.
Right now, I really believe that the Cathedral Prep defensive ends and their defensive backs have been the key to the game. As you mentioned, Gary, Matthews is looking to stretch that thing wide there. The defensive ends are making him stretch it even wider, and our Cathedral Prep's defensive backs are stepping up for the tackle.
Leading rusher for Cathedral Prep is Ed Hinkle. 9 carries, 66 yards. You see number 11 in your screen, and of course 35 of those 66 yards were on that one touchdown run. Let's send it back downstairs one more time before the second half kickoff to Chris Hughes. Chris?
Yeah, Gary, talking to a couple of the prep assistant coaches, they said that at halftime Mike Mishler was, first of all, praising the defensive backs, the corners in particular, for their work throughout the first half. He also said that the offensive line was doing a great job protecting Ed Hinkle, and he kept repeating, this is our house, we have 24 minutes to go, and we'll be headed back to Hershey. So he wants them to keep the momentum up, and we'll see what happens here in the third quarter.
Keep their focus going, and I think some of the juniors and sophomores on last year's team, who are now seniors and juniors, probably the minute they left Hershey Park Stadium last year and that devastating loss to Central Bucks West when CB West blocked a punt late in the fourth quarter to win it, I think some of those guys were thinking about getting back to this point from that moment until right now, and now they're 24 minutes away from a return trip to Hershey and a rematch with Central Bucks West.
Well, I know, living around the Erie area, as we all do, you know, everybody expected a lot of Cathedral Prep, but just to get back there and do it the way they have been, they deserve a big pat on the back. And once again, it's that haunting feeling, Gary. Ed Hinkle went through that last year and had to live it the whole year. Now he's got that opportunity. He's going to take advantage of it.
All right, 24 minutes to go, 19-7 in favor of the Ramblers. And the latest rankings, unbelievably, the Prep Ramblers moved up to 5th. That's not the unbelievable part. The unbelievable part is they dropped down to number 2 in the state. So they moved up to number 5 in the country, number 2 according to ESPN, number 5 according to the USA Today. But the most recent state rankings, in which Cathedral Prep had been the number 1 team throughout the entire season, last week, all of a sudden, the voters had Central Bucks West up to the number 1 spot and Cathedral Prep dropping to number 2. No doubt based upon the fact that Cathedral Prep had to go double overtime to beat Altoona, while Central Bucks West routed Downington in their Eastern semifinal game. But still, it looks like numbers 1 and 2 will be decided on the field of play next weekend at Hershey Park Stadium.
Well, also, Gary, I'm going to be a little prejudiced here. You know, those rankings come out of Harrisburg, and that's the eastern part of the state there. So I still believe Cathedral Prep should be number 1 right here. You don't lose that number 1 position until you lose a game.
Right. You see the officials, we mentioned they were from Mercer County, and doing a pretty good job. They've let the players play. A couple of calls in key situations, but I don't think they were too questionable. And they've done an outstanding job, and we'd like to thank, of course, the PIAA and all of the staff here at the Veterans Stadium and the District 10 officials who kind of run a game when a PIAA playoff game is up here at Veterans Stadium, for all of their cooperation and making it so easy for us to bring this game to you on a chilly, cold December night in Erie, Pennsylvania. But you're glad you could join us. And right now it's so far a happy night with the Ramblers leading 19-7 and Mount Lebanon about to kick it off here to begin the third quarter. We heard what Chris Hughes had to say about Mike Mishler's comments. What do you think the Mount Lebanon coach had to say to his staff, or his staff and his players at the half?
Well, I definitely, he had to stress that this possession right here has to end very quickly for Cathedral Prep. And we can see he tried to do it right there. He just squibbed the ball down the field here. He's got to get his offense back on the field as quick as possible to get back into the ball game.
All right, so thanks to that squib kick recovered by Prep, the Ramblers will begin the third quarter and their first possession of the second half in outstanding field position at the 44-yard line. Here comes a call from the official. A personal foul against Mount Lebanon. So we're going to tack on some yardage here to the Ramblers' cause to begin this third quarter. No doubt Mount Lebanon wanted to come out to start this second half in an aggressive fashion, but somebody apparently too aggressive, and the 15-yard mark-off is going to mark it all the way down to the 41-yard line of Mount Lebanon. So Cathedral Prep will begin the second half with a 19-7 lead and a 1st and 10 at the Mount Lebanon 41-yard line. The usual cast of characters, Ed Hinkle with Eric Field and Jawan Walker in the I formation behind him. Tim Dance out wide to the left, Walker straight up the middle, bursting into the secondary inside the 25 and wrestled down at the 22-yard line. And they burst Walker up the middle, and he nearly broke that one.
Gary, just an isolation play. The guard and tackle blocked down, fullback Fields kicks out, and Walker just hits that hole very hard. It almost takes it all the way.
A lot was made about the big line of Mount Lebanon, but so far Cathedral Prep has had the better of it in the pits. 1st and 10 at the 22. Here's Walker again, straight ahead, moving the pile forward down to about the 17-yard line, where it'll be a 2nd down and about 5. And these Ramblers fans almost sense a kill at this point. It's very early in the third quarter, obviously. A lot of things could happen. A penalty flag was thrown on the play, and this one is another personal foul call against Mount Lebanon. And Mount Lebanon is killing themselves on Cathedral Prep's first drive here in the third quarter.
Gary, they don't need these penalties because right now Cathedral Prep's knocking them backwards anyways, and so just attack on another 15 yards isn't helping them. Maybe a lot of frustration starting to show, and that might have rolled over from the halftime. You don't know what the Mount Lebanon coach, how much pressure he put on his boys there, but that could be a rolling effect over after halftime. And
the frustration of having Cathedral Prep score a touchdown with 17 seconds remaining in the second quarter until halftime. And opening up what would have been just a 6-point deficit. Here's Walker right side on 1st and goal at the 7, barreling down to the 3, where it will be 2nd down and goal to go from there. Just a minute has gone by here in the third quarter, and Cathedral Prep on the verge of adding to their 19-7 lead.
Cathedral Prep running a little misdirection there. Fields going off to the left, and they're going to bring Walker back off to the right behind big Dale Williams, and he did a great job blocking there.
And they got the big boys in there. Joe Dupre at one tight end. He's number 40 there in the center of your screen. Ed Brown on the opposite side of that line, the other tight end, in this 2 tight end formation. Walker straight ahead, bounced around, gets down to about the 2, maybe the 1-yard line, where from there Cathedral Prep will have a 3rd down and goal to go. Just straight ahead football.
Matt Parsons pulling, trying to kick out. Somebody behind the fullback's block also there. Walker cut it up maybe a little bit too early on that play there, Gary. Maybe should have ran it a little wider.
3rd down and goal, just short of the 1, as Ed Hinkle brings his offensive team up to the line of scrimmage. Field and Walker in the backfield. Hinkle hands to Walker to the outside, cuts it back into the end zone. Cathedral Prep touchdown. And with 2 minutes and 3 seconds gone by here in the second half, the Ramblers have added to their lead on a 2-yard run by Jawan Walker.
Well, once on this play here, Walker does a smart thing. He follows his fullback out on a stretch play. Eric Fields blocks the corner, and Walker gets up underneath him for the touchdown. What a nice run. Nice blocking by Cathedral Prep.
And good camera work as Maloney steps up for the point after. He made the first one. Second one hit the upright, was no good. After the 3rd Prep touchdown, they failed on a 2-point conversion. Out of the hold of Barry Roach, this one's up, and this one is good. And with 9:57 to go in the third quarter, the Ramblers can smell Hershey as they have opened up a 26-7 lead. We'll be right back with more of the Western Finals in just a moment.
A minivan, not a minivan, when it's a 2001 Pontiac Montana from McQuillan and Girard. The Pontiac Montana gives you everything that you need a minivan for. Easy to rearrange 8-passenger modular seats, available power sliding door, and V6 engine because, hey, you have places to go. And some even have a TV, but what really sets the Montana apart is its rugged good looks, so you don't become the cliche you swore you'd never be. You can hold your head up high in a Pontiac Montana from McQuillan and Girard, your Pontiac dealer.
Welcome back to Veterans Stadium with Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes. I'm Gary Drapcho. Cathedral Prep has taken their opening possession of the second half in for a score. It was a short 41-yard drive thanks to a Mount Lebanon squib kick and then a personal foul penalty tacked on to the end of it. And they also received help from Mount Lebanon, another personal foul penalty later in that drive. But the bottom line is Jawan Walker's 2-yard touchdown run and Maloney's extra point has the Ramblers in front 26-7 now as Heidinger kicks it high and short and is caught at the 25-yard line and belted down near the 30. And coming down to make the tackle, number 44, John Hirsch. And John Hirsch doing a job on the special teams.
Very difficult kickoff to return. The ball's kicked very high, and as you said, John Hirsch did an excellent play getting down there for coverage.
And Joe Evanoff, who had a nice play on the opening kickoff. You remember all the way back to the opening kickoff, Mount Lebanon tried that lateral pass, just like the Tennessee Titans did to beat the Bills last year, but it didn't work on the opening kickoff thanks to Evanoff. Now here's the pitch to Matthews. And Matthews at the 30, turns the corner at the 35, and then is forced out by Donnie Brown at the 38-yard line. Mount Lebanon obviously down here 26-7, needs to score and needs to score quickly. But our comments and our discussion, Joe, is do they have the athletes to do that? Obviously Matthews is a threat to run it in from any point on the field. But Prep has obviously contained him pretty well in this game, and Mount Lebanon is just going to have to do something to open up the offense and at least to try to cut into this lead before the end of the third quarter.
I couldn't agree more, Gary. They're really one-dimensional, and they have to do something differently here now to get on the scoreboard.
Weidl's going to scramble out of there and gets to the 40 and down to the 42, where he does pick up the first down. He only needed a couple of yards. Big Charles Rush, number 59, picks himself up after making the tackle.
Gary, on that play, once again, Weidl was looking for Matthews going out into the flat. So once again, we start seeing the one dimension of their offense of Mount Lebanon here.
9.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Walker has scored twice. Hinkle has scored on a run. And of course, the long touchdown throw to Josh Lustig late in the first half, which really is the key play of this game. 1st and 10, Mount Lebanon. Fake pitch to Matthews. Weidl back to throw. Fires it down the field. Has a man open, but he overthrows him at the 25-yard line. Incomplete. Number 34, Jerry Bonneberger. Usually just a blocking back in that fullback position for Sam Matthews. They tried to kind of make the flow of the play go right and throw back to the left, Joe. And Weidl was under some pressure here as well. Gary,
Cathedral Prep has, for the last 2 years, strictly played man-to-man defense. There was a little mix-up on the motion, who was going to pick up that man. He came out and wide open, actually.
That was Big Dale Williams who put the smack on Weidl just after he delivered that pass. 2nd down and 10. Matthews up the middle, churning his legs, getting out to about the 47-yard line. And it'll set up 3rd down and about 6 yards to go for Mount Lebanon. Cathedral Prep in the lead 26-7. And if you're wondering about Hershey next week, Central Bucks West did win this afternoon, in case you missed it, 27-12 over Bethlehem Catholic in the Eastern Final. And Cathedral Prep trying to be the first non-WPIAL team this year to get a spot in Hershey. We've had 3 WPIAL teams win Class A, AA, and AAA up to this point in the West. 3rd down and 6. Matthews straight ahead, still churning, gets down to about midfield, tries to stretch it into the Cathedral Prep territory, but he's going to be a yard, maybe 2 yards short of the 1st down. Charles Rush, Phil Lupo, Joe Dupre, and that familiar cast of characters wearing the orange jerseys on defense for Cathedral Prep.
Gary, we're going to find out real quick if Mount Lebanon believes that they have to get themselves back in the game here or punt for field position here. Also, Cathedral Prep has to be aware of maybe a fake punt if they would line the punt team on the field.
4th down and about 1.5 yards to go. The ball is at the 49-yard line, and they have to get to the 48-yard line of Cathedral Prep for a 1st down. Here's Matthews straight ahead. He surges forward. I don't think he got it. They stack him up. It'll obviously depend on the spot of the football by the officials, but I don't think he got it from this angle, Joe.
Gary, I think you're right. He didn't get it, and you can see the urgency. Mount Lebanon going for it in 4th and down. They lined up in double tight power I, trying to use their big boys and knock people backwards. Number 18 make a great play right
coming
there.
From behind, Dupre, number 40, and Big Dale Williams holding his own.
Phil Lupo made a super play.
From this angle, and we're almost right in front of it from the press box, he missed it by that much. And he did. Was I right on the money or what, Joe? Look at that.
Gary, you did a great job. No one's going to question your eyesight.
It is first down Cathedral Prep as Mount Lebanon fails to convert on a 4th and 1 play, and the Ramblers will take it over. As you take a look at the surge by Prep, Charles Rush right into the backfield. Nice job clogging things up. Lupo coming in from the outside. Dupre twisting and turning, number 40. What a football player he is. And all of that led to Sam Matthews being stopped about 3 inches short of the first down marker.
Gary, we just can't give Cathedral Prep's defense enough credit today. They've really turned around the fortunes from last week to this week. They're stopping a very good running attack this week.
So the Ramblers take over, leading 26-7, 7:25 remaining, and Hinkle on a bootleg to the left crosses midfield and then gets gang tackled by about 5 or 6 Mount Lebanon players in Mount Lebanon territory at the 48-yard line.
Gary, this is just a quarterback sweep. If we would have seen Woodland Hills up here today, we would have seen both sides doing it because, of course, Woodland Hills quarterback was a great runner. Right now, Cathedral Prep had everybody out in front of Hinkle, and he got 4 or 5 yards on that. Oh, I'm sorry, only 3 yards.
Second down, we'll call it about 7, as they mark it at the Mount Lebanon 48-yard line. Clock, of course, on the Ramblers side with that 26-7 lead. And Jawan Walker hit in the backfield but keeps his feet, driving those legs inside the 45 and down to about the 43-yard line. If you talk about somebody just driving forward.
Jawan Walker, they ran that ISO play they've had a lot of success on. This time he was hit in the backfield by number 68 from Mount Lebanon, but he kept his feet moving. Walker definitely wants to get the yardage this week. He's running very, very hard.
Third down and 2 now for the Ramblers. Ball at the 43-yard line in Mount Lebanon territory. Tight formation for Cathedral Prep. Walker with the football. First down at the 40 and surges forward to the Mount Lebanon 39-yard line. So another 1st and 10 for the Ramblers. Let's send it downstairs to Chris Hughes. Red?
Yeah, Gary, this has really been a big night of redemption for Jawan Walker. Of course, last week he dropped a sure touchdown pass wide open in the end zone. Then he fumbled in the 3rd quarter. He also had a personal foul penalty against him for slamming his helmet. So it's nice to see him tonight having a big game. He scored twice, and it's really been a nice night and a big night for Jawan Walker.
Almost getting new life after the Ramblers were able to survive that double overtime game against Altoona, and he's making the best of that new life. Here's Hinkle with a play-action bootleg, flips it out to a wide-open Eric Field. Field at the 25, at the 20, and stumbles down to the 15-yard line. The big fullback running with the football, and it's a 1st and 10 for Cathedral Prep at the 14-yard line of Mount Lebanon. 5:45 remaining, and the Ramblers doing nothing wrong offensively here in the 3rd quarter, Joe.
Cathedral Prep facing counter to the tight end side. Fullback slips out to the 2-count side. He's wide open out there. No one had him, and it's a great extra effort run by him. Eric Fields carrying down the field.
He doesn't see the ball that much. It's mostly Jawan Walker and Hinkle and Lustig and Dance, but certainly Big Eric made the most of that opportunity. Here's Walker on a little counter, dancing his way down to about the 10-yard line.
That was Easter in the ball game. They ran counter.
You're right.
Play.
That's number 4, Jason Easter, spelling Jawan Walker for the moment.
Easter looked pretty good. They're hitting it up in there, giving him a break.
And Easter making the most of his opportunity. But boy, has he played a good game defensively.
He is a very, very good defensive back, Gary. Very good.
A la the Damon Sanders style player who started as a true freshman this year for Iowa. Walker's the lone setback, and here comes Hinkle on the option play. Turns it to the outside at the 5 and is trying to get in, but he's pushed out into the snowbank. And that's mostly snow and ice down around the 2-yard line. Obviously not intentional since the play was going that side, but boy, that's got to hurt on a cold night like this. That's not just soft snow. You've got snow that's been piled up there for about a week and a half, and it's very icy. And you'll see Hinkle coming right at us.
Gary, once again, it's lead option for Cathedral Prep, and I just can't believe Mount Lebanon's not going to attack Hinkle. I'd rather have Hinkle pitch the ball back to that tailback instead of him running the football.
Ouch.
Yes.
Those are some big chunks of ice. Ed Hinkle is a tough customer, though. Of course, scored the winning touchdown in the Western Finals last year against Woodland Hills when he caught a touchdown pass from Eric Carlson. And he also ran a punt back for a touchdown in that same game. They mark it at the 3-yard line. 1st and goal to go for Cathedral Prep. And Hinkle sets his offensive lineman. 1st and goal from the 3. Hinkle on a bootleg. Wants to throw for the end zone, and he overthrows Joe Dupre, who was well covered by number 3, Sam Matthews, on the play. Hoping to get the ball to the big tight end.
It was a naked bootleg on the goal line for Ed Hinkle here. Fake sweep. Both tight ends are going to drag across the field, and of course both of them are big targets. And he just overthrows Dupre there.
And a good throw by Hinkle from the standpoint that he threw it in an area where only Joe Dupre could catch the football. He didn't underthrow it, and he didn't necessarily overthrow it. He tried to throw it in an area where Dupre could catch it without it being intercepted. They just didn't connect. 2nd down and goal at the 3. Here's Easter up the middle. Cathedral Prep touchdown. Jason Easter from 3 yards out, and Cathedral Prep is blowing this one wide open. It is 32-7 with 4:55 to go in the 3rd quarter.
Gary, what's so impressive about Cathedral Prep right now, they're not doing anything fancy. This is just flat out knocking them backwards and getting yardage, and everything that Walker did and right now Jason Easter did, it was just a lineman face mask on face mask knocking them backwards.
So we perhaps will not have the drama that we had last week in the Altoona game, but we are seeing just one great performance from this Cathedral Prep football team. One reason why they are ranked 5th in the country. Maloney's extra point hits the upright and doesn't go through. 2nd time he's hit the upright, once at the right, now the left. Extra point is no good, but the Ramblers lead big, 32-7 over Mount Lebanon late in the 3rd quarter. Our Western Finals coverage continues in just a moment.
Hi folks, I'm Karen Kadavi. I'd like to tell you about a sport I absolutely love, a sport that doesn't get the respect it deserves, a sport that isn't on TV nearly enough. To excel, you need to be in top mental and physical condition. You need to practice. You need the right equipment. You need Pro Golf Discount. What sport did you think I was talking about?
Pro Golf Discount, West 12th Street, just east of Powell Avenue.
When you're serious about skate, I mean golf.
66. He's also number 40. Welcome back here to the Western Finals. Along with Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes, I'm Gary Drapcho, and the Ramblers have scored on their first 2 possessions here in the 3rd quarter, Joe. And with just under 5 minutes remaining, 4:55 to be exact, they have built up a rather comfortable lead. And again, we go back to that 13-7 game, and with 17 seconds left, the Ramblers strike on a 59-yard touchdown pass, and that really kind of blew the air out of Mount Lebanon. I really think from that moment on, when they went into the halftime locker room with their heads hung low, Cathedral Prep has really dominated this football game.
Well, that was definitely a big turning point in the game, and then to start the 2nd half the way they did, giving Cathedral Prep the ball, and then 2 big penalties to let them score very easily. That was another quick 14 points that they just couldn't come back from.
So Prep with the 32-7 lead, and we'll just have to see how the Blue Devils from Mount Lebanon, who claimed their first WPIAL championship in 16 years last Saturday night when they beat Woodland Hills at Three Rivers Stadium. We'll see what they do with the football here. And I guess when you're the team that's behind, you just have to score 1 touchdown at a time here. You just have to try to put together a drive and score a touchdown and then just hope for some breaks. Weidel wants to throw, lobs it up. Open is Harvey, makes a nice catch, a flag. No flag. As Harvey makes a nice catch. He's a good-looking receiver. That's the 2nd time he's had a defensive back draped all over him, and he's been able to come up with the football fighting that defensive back. In this case, Easter was with some good coverage, but Harvey, using his good hands, came down with the football.
Gary, I don't want to harp on it anymore, but they got a good quarterback with 1 receiver. Cathedral Prep might want to start double teaming Harvey because they're going to pick on him because of the corner's lack of size out there for Prep.
That pass play brought it down to the 34-yard line of Cathedral Prep. And a 1st down for Mount Lebanon. Weidel to Harvey again. This time he can't hold it. Juwan Walker and Donald Brown were coming up for the coverage for the Ramblers. So he makes the hard catches and drops the easy ones, Joe.
Well, no, Gary, that might be another effect of the cold weather out there. That's that quick little hitch. Ball's coming at you pretty quick. That ball's probably harder than a rock, too, also down there. So, once again, Harvey has great hands. Just a bad, lack of concentration possibly on that play.
Yeah, you're right. It's, I'm sure, warm and comfortable in your living rooms at home. It's pretty frigid here. I'd say it's in the teens. No wind, thankfully. Here's Matthews on a draw. He's got some running room all the way down to the 20-yard line. And it's finally Jason Easter who has to come over to make the tackle, but that is a first down for Mount Lebanon at the Ramblers 20. And take a look at it again. They tried to run this play earlier, and he slipped and fell. This time he kept his feet and had lots of running room.
Cathedral Prep selling out, Gary, with their defense lining about 6-7 guys in the box. They even brought the prey on it, so we got very fortunate, that the back could come off and make that tackle there.
First and 10, Mount Lebanon at the Ramblers 21. Cathedral Prep leading 32-7 here with 4 minutes remaining exactly in quarter number 3. The pass is deflected out of the hands of Weidel as he was set to throw it, and I think 74, Big Dale Williams, is the man who got his mitts on it. What an impressive young man Mr. Dale Williams is, as he's all in the face and all over Kevin Weidel.
He's a very big young man, and of course, I think, Gary, we've mentioned his name quite a bit today, so he's had a heck of a ball game.
I know, obviously being recruited by a number of Division I schools, including Pitt. Joe Dupre, as we mentioned, has already signed a letter of intent, or verbally agreed, I should say, since the actual signing date is not till February, but verbally agreed to go to Kentucky. Weidel back to throw, zings one over to the corner, where Harvey makes a nice catch and then is ridden out of bounds close to the first down marker at the 10-yard line. It's Jawan Walker who drills him, but Harvey with a nice catch and hangs on despite the fact that Walker was ready to slap the leather to him.
Garrett's little comeback pattern on the sidelines, a very safe throw for a receiver to catch, quarterback to throw it to the sidelines, keeping it away from the defensive back.
Don't forget, Frosty the Snowman can be seen next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Frosty the Snowman, normally seen at 8 o'clock here on CBS today, and will be seen tomorrow, or check that, next Saturday at 7 o'clock for all you Frosty the Snowman fans. Here's a quick pass out, and it is into the end zone for a touchdown. Number 2, Brian Young, slipping out into the flats, catching it, and doing a good job of eluding a tackle along the near side to come up with the touchdown. So Lebanon cuts into the lead here with 3:45 remaining in the third quarter.
Gary, a lot of teams are calling this a flat fade. Now they're running a kid to the sidelines, making that defensive pack really have to cover the area. Great catch. Nice effort by Brown to try to stop him. Good catch by number 2.
So it's 32-13. And Mount Lebanon did exactly what they wanted to do to try to get back in this game, and that is to score. The extra point is good. So with 3:45 to go here in the third quarter, the Ramblers still lead it, but their lead is cut to 32-14. And our coverage of the PIAA Quad A Western Finals continues in just a moment. Stay with us.
The Fan, Red, King, Nets, Colts, Brown, Baker, Kelly, Ryan, Jeff Davis, Jim Corbett, Joe Moore, Reality, Fantasy, you gotta like things like that. Sports is who we are. Sports Radio 1330.
If you crack your glass, call Star Auto Glass.
We use original equipment, automotive replacement glass, and certified auto glass professionals. So request Star Auto Glass, where safety and quality matter.
Welcome back here to Veterans Stadium. Yeah, the snow's kind of hard. And Mount Lebanon's task of getting back into this game against Cathedral Prep maybe as hard as trying to break up that block of ice there, Joe, because Prep has come on here. They led 19-7 at the half, scored on their first 2 possessions here of the third quarter to take a 32-7 lead. Lebo now has marched down the field and scored a touchdown. 32 for Mount Lebanon would have to score 3 times, including 2 touchdowns to win this game. If they would score 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, it would then be 32-30. So they would have to score in that fashion and then add a third score to take the lead on Cathedral Prep. It was still the entire fourth quarter to go. Anything's possible. And so Hinkle's running as much time, shortening the game at this point. Back to throw Hinkle down the middle. Lustig has it, and it's a first down for Prep as he pulls it in at the Mount Lebanon 45-yard line.
Hinkle and Lustig, I really believe, checked off into this call. A little skinny post. They might have been going to a fade. Hinkle gave him a signal for a skinny post. Great catch by Lustig here.
And when you say skinny post, just kind of breaks it off to the post just a little bit shorter than what he would in a normal situation.
Yeah, absolutely. He's not going to run it up the field. He's going to try to get into that dead spot between that safety and linebackers, Gary.
You heard Bill Fontana, Red U's halftime guest, talk about how he thought Lustig may have audibled to Hinkle on that touchdown pass with 17 seconds remaining in the half that set up that one-on-one coverage and resulted in Lustig catching it and beating his man in a 59-yard touchdown. Walker hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage as Mount Lebanon stacks him up at the 45-yard line. That we're down to 40 seconds remaining until the end of the third quarter. And that's where experience comes in, and all of these players, these seniors were freshmen under Coach Mishler, undefeated and unscored upon under Coach Mishler when these seniors like Hinkle and Lustig and Dupre and Charles Rush and so on and so forth were all freshmen under Mike Mishler. So this is a special group to Mike Mishler because of that situation that existed when they were all freshmen, and now of course he's the head coach here at the Cathedral Prep varsity level.
Oh, it's a great opportunity when you get to coach kids for 4 years, as Coach Mishler did and has done, and they're sticking together. So they sure have earned a lot of respect from a lot of people in the community.
Illegal procedure call against Prep coming with 8 seconds remaining in the third period. And that'll move the football back to the 48-yard line and make it 2nd down and 14 instead of 2nd and 9. Time for one more play here before we conclude this third period. Well, maybe not. They'll start the clock since it was running during the course of that penalty, and Prep can simply run out the clock, and the third quarter is over. It is history. The Ramblers are 12 minutes away from a trip to Hershey. They'll go into the fourth and final period, leading 32-14. And our PIAA Quad A Western Final coverage continues on Channel 35 in just a moment. Stay with us.
Arthur F. Schultz is America's largest in-store Lazy Boy gallery, and nobody sells Lazy Boy for less. Arthur F. Schultz has America's lowest factory-authorized prices on quality Lazy Boy recliners and sofas. You'll find pre-holiday savings throughout the store, plus no interest, make no payments till the year 2002. Guaranteed low prices, Pennsylvania's largest selection, and guaranteed satisfaction. Nobody beats Arthur F. Schultz.
Today, the diamond business is a trust business, and we take pride in earning our customers' trust. We deliver diamonds at values that are second to none in this region.
At Dahl Kempers, our goal is to find the diamond that's perfect for you. We're committed to your total satisfaction every day.
Whether you're looking for the perfect diamond engagement ring or the special jewelry gift that will last a lifetime, shop Dahl Kempers Jewelry Connection.
Decides he's just going to throw the football.
Welcome back here to Veterans Stadium along with Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes. I'm Gary Drapcho. Cathedral Prep clearly in control here, leading by 18 points, 32-14, and now 12 minutes remain on the clock between the end of this game and a trip to Hershey for Cathedral Prep, a victory in the Western Finals and a trip to Hershey. And Hinkle on 2nd down and 14, flips it out to Eric Field at the 40. Field at the 30, down to the 25, and barreled down out of bounds at the 23-yard line, but not before the Ramblers pick up enough yards to move the sticks and get another first down.
Gary, this is the counter pass that the Cathedral Prep had success on in the third quarter. And once again, the will linebacker, the weak side linebacker, is responsible for the fullback out of the flat, and he's nowhere to be found there. And Fields has a all green in front of him.
And the big guy rumbling down inside the 25. So 1st and 10, they mark it at the 23-yard line for Cathedral Prep. Leading by 18 points. Hinkle tries the option, pitches it back to Walker. Walker dances around a defensive back and cuts it upfield to the 20. But he made quite a move on that defensive back, which was waiting for him at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I don't think Hinkle read that very well. He probably would have been better off keeping the ball there. He pitched pretty quick off the read and had people in Walker's face, and Walker made a nice job dodging people.
Prep, of course, beat McDowell to claim the District 10 Quad A championship here at Veterans Stadium. Then went down to South Stadium in Pittsburgh and beat the Pittsburgh City champion Alderdice. That then set up the exciting game you saw here on 35 last week in double overtime against Altoona, sending them here to the Western Finals against Mount Lebanon, where they lead 32-14, and just 11 minutes remaining for the Ramblers to claim the Western Championship for the second straight year. And as Hinkle takes the snap, the play is whistled dead.
I believe it's delay of game, Gary.
Taking as much time as possible off that clock. 27-yard run by Jawan Walker got this thing started for the Ramblers. Ed Hinkle ran one in from 35 yards out. Then Sam Matthews, a 55-yard punt return for Mount Lebanon, got him back in the game. It was 13-7 at that point, and it looked like it would be that way heading to halftime. But Prep got the ball back with less than half a minute remaining, and with 17 seconds left, a 59-yard Hinkle to Lustig touchdown pass put the Ramblers up 19-7, and they have come out and simply dominated this second half and lead it 32-14. Hinkle, three-step drop, and simply fires this one away. He initially, I think, wanted to go to Lustig on a quick little slant, Joe. He wasn't open, so instead he decided to heave that one out of the end zone to prevent either a sack or an interception.
You know, Gary, Lustig and Hinkle have played together for a long time also, not just since freshmen, but they've played grade school football together in St. Andrews, and so that's a combination that's worked for many years.
Tim Dan's out of the game. Mike Romiak in the game, along with Lustig, numbers 13 and 14, coming out wide to the bottom of your screen. And it's Field and Walker in that I formation behind Hinkle. Hinkle on the try to Walker. Here comes Walker at the 20. Walker at the 15. Spins at the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. First and goal, Cathedral Prep on a beautiful run by Jawan Walker.
Well, Prep spread the formation with a slot formation and then ran a sprint draw, bringing Walker into that formation, and great blocking at the point of attack, and actually his receivers out here did a good job. Romiak got a nice block there.
Nothing a coach appreciates more, I think, Joe, being a head coach yourself, of course, than some good downfield blocking from those receivers.
Those are the blocks that usually spring you for a touchdown. Very important.
First and goal at the 6-yard line. Ramblers trying to tack on to a 32-14 lead with 10.5 minutes remaining. Here comes Jason Easter up over the left side, trying to fight his way, and is finally stacked up and stopped short of the goal line at the 2-yard line. Jerry Bronenberger, number 34. And I thought Easter might sneak this one through. He initially, off that good block by Eric Field, number 33, had an opening, but there's Sam Matthews, number 3, and 34 Bronenberger underneath, who make the tackle on the play.
We did have a great initial surge there, and then Mount Lebanon came off their blocks to slow that down a little bit.
Second down goal at the 3-yard line. Now what do we got? Illegal formation?
No, Gary, that was illegal substitution. They broke the huddle with 12 players, and so it's going to be a penalty on us.
It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Illegal substitution. Yeah, once you come into the game, you have to have 11 guys breaking the huddle. You can't have 12, 13, or whatever and decide to send a player out at that moment. 5-yard penalty moves it back to the 8-yard line. And it'll be second down and goal to go from there. The referee restarts the clock with 9 minutes and 50 seconds. Glad you could join us here for the Quad A Western Finals. We've had fun following these Ramblers through last week in that thriller against Altoona. And now we're within 9.5 minutes here of a return trip to the state championship and a return trip to meet Central Bucks West. Winners of the East Finals this afternoon over Bethlehem Catholic. Hinkle avoids some pressure, rolls to his right, throws for the end zone, and Eric Field is there for a Cathedral Prep touchdown, and the Ramblers take the lead by a score of 38-14 as they extend their lead on a beautiful little dump-off pass by Hinkle, and this has been successful all night, Joe.
Gary, this time it's double tight formation, and Field's man just comes off from to go after Hinkle, and with no respect for Field, and that's been happening all night, and there's a touchdown.
So everyone's getting into the act here as Maloney lines up for the point after. Walker scored twice. Easter has scored. Lustig has scored. Hinkle has scored. And now Eric Field has scored. And Maloney with the extra point. He boots it up and good. 9 minutes, 21 seconds remaining. The Ramblers dominating. It's 39-14 in the fourth quarter. Our coverage of the Quad A Western Finals continues in just a moment.
Introducing the new Chicken Fiesta Melt from Taco Bell. It's so good, it's practically perfect.
Sir, could you please try it before you mess with it?
Grilled white meat chicken smothered in Fiesta salsa and 3 kinds of cheese melted just the way you like it, to perfection. Get it for a limited time at the Bell.
If you want to be part of the exploding information technology field but don't have the skills, now you can at Tri-State Business Institute. This is a Microsoft authorized academic training program offering both associate degree and certification training programs. Programs that are designed to give you the skills and hands-on experience necessary to compete and advance in your career. Don't wait any longer to be part of the IT revolution. Call Tri-State Business Institute at 838-7673. 838-7673.
Welcome back to Veterans Stadium. Eric Field catching the 8-yard touchdown pass from Ed Hinkle and extending the Cathedral Prep Ramblers lead to 39-14. Here comes Mount Lebanon with the kick across the 40. Brian Young out to the 41-yard line. And the task is pretty simple for Mount Lebanon. That's score and score early. The winner of this game, as we mentioned, will take on Central Bucks West, and so obviously with the Ramblers leading here 39-14, it would take 4 touchdowns by Mount Lebanon, and in 9 minutes and 21 seconds, you would need a major, big-time miracle for something like that to happen, Joe.
Yeah, you would, Gary. Now it's just if you're going to, concede the game by Mount Lebanon and go to the running attack and try to get out of here with some respect, or are they going to throw the ball and take a chance for interceptions and maybe get buried even worse?
Weidel back to throw, as you would expect, and throws it incomplete. Brian Young was the intended receiver. Jawan Walker covering on the play. And it will be 2nd down and 10. Central Bucks West, obviously, I mean, you got to give that program a lot of credit. Obviously, they've won 3 consecutive state championships, undefeated in all 3 of those seasons, beating Prep in last year's state championship, coming up with that block punt late in the game. But for their head coach to retire and for them to lose a running back, an athlete, the quality of Dustin Pisciotti, now playing for Pitt, and to come back off of that and go undefeated and all the way to the state championship again, says a lot about their program.
Gary, last year when we had the opportunity to watch that state championship game together and do it for Cathedral Prep, they played a lot of young kids last year also, so that gave them a lot of confidence coming into this year. As you and I said last year, they had a lot of young kids playing.
Tim Longerin making the catch, and that is close to a first down. It is a first down as they mark it after a gain of 10 yards at the 49-yard line. Good play action by Weidel this time, although you don't expect them to be running the football much, down 39-14.
That little comeback pattern to the sidelines, a safe ball to throw for their quarterback, and very comfortable pass for the receiver to catch.
Weidel back to throw, trying to set up the screen. Gets it to Matthews as he gets clobbered. Matthews with some running room. Fumbles the football, loose on the ground, and I think Matthews was able to come back and recover it himself. Yes, he did.
And they're going to call him down, Gary, at the point of attack there anyways, but it was a great hustle by him. Very well set up screen there. Cathedral Prep bringing the blitz there, so it got the prey out of the picture, and good downfield blocking by Mount Lebanon. Eric Fields, great hustle coming from behind.
And that time, in the eyes of the officials, the Mercer County officials doing this game today, doing a great job, by the way. The fumble was caused by the turf, even though Matthews himself recovered the fumble. At the 35-yard line of Cathedral Prep now, Mount Lebanon 1st and 10. We're down to 8:25 remaining. And here's a little draw play to Matthews, and he is snowed under. Joe Dupre, number 40, the big guy headed to the University of Kentucky. And boy, I mean, if he plays this way on a bad knee, imagine he'll play when his knee is eventually healthy again. But he just blows through there, Joe, and barrels under Matthews.
And actually, Gary, number 34, their fullback, I'm pretty sure missed Dupre on that block there, and Dupre comes up there and finishes the play off. Right now, Cathedral Prep might want to stop blitzing a little bit just to take care of the screens and the draw play.
Second down 11, a loss of a yard on that last play. Weidel back to throw from his own 36, fires the ball down the middle and incomplete. Had a man cutting towards the post, number 5, Tim Longren. But Eddie Hinkle, number 11, Donnie Brown, 24, and Jawan Walker, number 2, all back there in the defensive secondary for Cathedral Prep.
Gary, once again, seeing Cathedral Prep, they run this man-to-man. They really don't have a free safety in the middle of the field there. So, you know, if Mount Lebanon could get lucky and make a strike like that, it could open up for them. But, you know, Cathedral Preps has this philosophy that they have the better athletes, and it's worked for them all year. They're just going to stick with that plan right now. Looks like now Hinkle's in the middle of the field, so maybe they're going to get a little free safety back there.
Right. Hinkle back there with Brown, Walker, and Easter. And Weidel on 3rd and 11. Tosses it over the middle. Nice catch by Matthews off his hip. And he runs it down inside the 25 and appears to have a first down at the Cathedral Prep 23-yard line. Nice catch by Matthews, who is everything built up to be.
He sure is.
Good little running back.
It was an excellent catch coming over the middle there. He had to be feared of being hit, and it was a low pass. He collected it in and got the first down for him.
Matthews had a good year this year, including 175 yards rushing against Woodland Hills last week. He had 150 of those yards in the first half and 2 touchdowns. And really it was Mount Lebanon's defense that totally shut down Woodland Hills, allowing them to hang on for that 14-13 score. Timeout on the field. The Ramblers of Cathedral Prep leading 39-14. We'll be right back live from Veterans Stadium in just a moment.
More jewelry than ever before. That's what you'll find at Dempsey & Baxter Jewelers. More diamonds, more gold, more silver, and more jewelry than any other store. And all of it is the finest quality at tremendous savings every day. Plus, with 4 in-store jewelers, Dempsey & Baxter can create whatever you would like. Choose from thousands of gold chains, bracelets, charms, and coin jewelry, often at half the price you'd pay elsewhere. Shop smart. Shop Dempsey & Baxter for high-quality diamonds and unusual jewelry at unbeatable prices. Stop in today. Dempsey & Baxter, 1009 East 38th Street.
Ho, ho, ho! What can I get for you, little boy?
Santa Langer, I need an energy-efficient furnace to keep my family warm all winter.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Langer's elves can deliver and install a furnace this winter so your family is warm and comfortable.
Santa Langer, I'm not sure what my family needs.
Ho, ho, ho! How about a hot water heater to give you plenty of hot water year-round?
Happy holidays from H. Jack Langer Plumbing.
No problem. Happy holidays.
The Ramblers with a 39-14 lead as we resume play here with 7 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. And Weidel on 1st and 10, firing to Harvey, who comes back and makes the catch at the 5-yard line in front of defensive back Donald Brown. And that'll give the Blue Devils a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. You're right. I mean, as good as Matthews is as a running back, this Weidel can throw the ball pretty good, Joe.
He sure can. And Harvey's a very, very good receiver out here. Makes a great catch. Brown does a nice job. He's on him one-on-one and makes a great play on him. But once again, it's pass and catch between Weidel and Harvey.
Lebanon tried to score here, but they trail 39-14. They need 4 scores to get back in this game. Weidel back to throw, tries to go to the back of the end zone, and overthrows his intended receiver.
It was play action. They're bringing the tight end off to the far corner of the end zone and bringing the halfback into the short corner of the end zone, and Weidel just overthrew the tight end.
Brad Kitlowski, number 8, was the intended receiver on that play. So 2nd down and goal to go for Mount Lebanon. The ball sitting right on the 5-yard line. Glad you could join us. This game is also being aired tonight on Adelphia Channel 20, serving the South Hills and Steel Valley areas, the suburbs south of Pittsburgh. Welcome to all of those fans following the Blue Devils of Mount Lebanon. Harvey goes in motion and tries a little out pattern near the goal line, well covered by Donnie Brown and incomplete. So 3rd and goal for Mount Lebanon at the 5.
Gary, we've got to give Mount Lebanon a lot of credit here. Their passing attack had taken them down the field here. They haven't really conceded the ball game, and they're trying to get back in it here. And Weidel, like we said, he's a very good quarterback.
Ramblers just 6 minutes and 53 seconds away from a return trip to Hershey. And we've talked about Central Bucks West, this being their 4th consecutive trip to the state championship game in Quad A, and they've won the previous 3. But what an effort by the Ramblers after that devastating loss last year to come back. Weidel back to throw is drilled in the back and sacked by number 18, Phil Lupo. Lupo came on a blitz, and Weidel didn't even know what hit him, Joe.
Gary, they had a little switch probably out there on the back side where the linebacker's going to guard the tight end. They're going to bring Phil off the corner, and he does a great job sacking him, and this really does hurt a quarterback right there. He did fumble the ball. I think he lands on it by himself.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm surprised the ball didn't pop out, but what train just came through the Mount Lebanon backfield? Phil Lupo. Sack is back to the 10-yard line. 4th down and goal to go now as the clock runs down to the 6:10 mark, halfway through this 4th and final period. And Weidel steps up in the pocket. He's not going to get the ball off. He tries to throw it, and let's see if they call a sack or an incomplete pass. Regardless, it's Eric Field, it's Charles Rush, it's Matt Parsons, and it's a host of others for the Cathedral Prep Ramblers. All in there. Phil Lupo coming off the field after a successful goal line stand, and here's the sack.
A lot of pressure from all different angles.
Dale Williams there. Yeah, he was down. So the Ramblers take over. 6 minutes and 4 seconds remaining in the game. They lead it comfortably here, 39-14, and will just try to run out the clock and begin to make plans to be at Hershey Park Stadium at this time next week. It's a 5 o'clock kickoff time next Saturday for the Quad A championship game. And of course, the championship games all are being broadcast on the Pennsylvania Cable Network, PCN.
The 2-count isolation run for Walker with Fields leading him, a play that's been very successful for Cathedral Prep. I think he gained a yard on it, Gary.
Out to about the 12-yard line. Call it 2nd down and about 8 as the Ramblers just try to run out the clock and start their plans to Chocolatetown. And of course, they would be the only non-WPIAL team to be representing the West this year. Here comes Juwan Walker, and he's got some running room at the 30, at the 40, and Harvey finally drags him down in front of the Cathedral Prep bench at the 47-yard line of Mount Lebanon.
Gary, it's the exact same play, but this time Juwan Walker uses his speed to get to the outside, and once again, here's athletic ability, just outruns people. Harvey makes a nice play coming off to make the tackle, but that's great individual effort by Juwan Walker.
Well, after that long drought of the WPIAL having a jinx, for lack of a better word, against a team from District 10, it appears that Cathedral Prep, for the 2nd year in a row now, is going to send the WPIAL champions home losers in the Western Final. Here's Walker getting stacked up and racked up behind the line of scrimmage. It's about a 2-yard loss. As number 8, Brad Kitlowski, led the surge, and Harvey was over there as well for the Blue Devils.
Toss sweep by Cathedral Prep. Mount Lebanon strings it out there. Going to get a sub in for Walker. He's a little breathing a little heavy right now. Bring Easter in to replace him.
And Red Hughes had mentioned this earlier about the redemption of Juwan Walker. Last week against Altoona, dropped a touchdown pass, fumbled in the 3rd quarter, was called for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty when he slammed his helmet to the ground, but he has had some game here tonight. Here comes Jason Easter. Easter trying to bounce to the outside, slips by 1 tackle, and then gets to the 47-yard line for a gain of 3. Walker, I'm sure, and we don't have the official stats, but at halftime he had 54 yards, and I would have to guess that he's over the 100-yard mark tonight. And he has scored a couple of touchdowns. Easter scored. Hinkle has scored via the run and also throwing one to Lustig. And Hinkle also has thrown a touchdown pass to Eric Field. So they have used all facets, and Joe, you mentioned that right at the beginning of this game. Use all of their athletes, use all the facets of their offense, and they should have no trouble beating Mount Lebanon. They've done that, and they're leading comfortably here 39-14.
Coach Misser's done a great job today with his offense.
Hinkle steps back and throws it incomplete. Lustig was the intended receiver and threw it behind him and low.
Cathedral Prep spread in the field there. Ed Hinkle drops back and then going to sprint out. Maybe an unadvised pass there, especially with Lustig with his back to the defender there. I don't know if we want to have Josh Lester take a bad hit. I don't know if he's fully recovered by the shoulder or not yet.
4th down and 10, and the crowd giving a lot of the Cathedral Prep offensive players a hand as they come off, as Ed Hinkle is on. And one of the punts that Ed Hinkle booted tonight was returned 55 yards by Sam Matthews, but that has been about the only bright spot. This time he kicks it away from Matthews. Matthews is going to let it bounce, and it's going to be down by Cathedral Prep at the 2-yard line. For the Ramblers, Tom Heath coming down on the punt return, or the punt coverage team, and downing it at the 8-yard line. And I don't think Mr. Matthews simply didn't want to return that one, Joe.
Well, it's a very difficult punt to return. It's low. It's not a good spiral on it. He let it hit the ground. He ill-advised probably, but the ground's so hard and the ball's just going to settle down on. Great hustle by Heath there to down the football for Prep.
Matthews just kind of turns his back and says, oh, well, it's been that kind of a night for the Blue Devils. And it's worth repeating, they were in this game. 13-7 was the score with 17 seconds remaining in the first half as Matthews gets to the 5-yard line. And it looked like that Prep would only have a 6-point lead at the half. Yeah, Dupre looks like he may have taken a shot to his left arm there. And he might be asked to come out, and will. But with 17 seconds remaining, instead of the Ramblers, and listen to the crowd giving Joe Dupre a nice round of applause. He probably has seen his last play in this Western Final.
There'll be a lot of those starters coming out now, Gary. Get them healthy for next week's game against Central Bucks West.
And we know it will be Central Bucks West. In case you missed it, they beat Bethlehem Catholic in the Eastern Finals this afternoon by a 27-12 score. Getting back, if you're just joining us, it looked like Cathedral Prep would only have a 6-point lead at the half, 13-7. They got the ball back with under 30 seconds to play, and with 17 seconds remaining, it was a long touchdown pass of 59 yards as Dale Williams is going to make his way out, and what an impressive young man Dale Williams is. As Coach Mishler brings out his senior starters one by one here to accept the accolades and applause from the crowd, and simply get ready to play one last football game as a Cathedral Prep Rambler, and that'll be for the state championship next week. Here's Matthews ahead and close to first down yardage at the 13-yard line.
Gary, I'd like to pat Dale Williams on the back. We mentioned his name quite a bit today.
Oh,
he had a heck of a football game.
Yes, he did. And he is an impressive young man, to say the least, a Division I prospect, without a doubt. Here comes Ed Hinkle. He's coming out of the game. Matt Parsons is also coming out of the game. Congratulations to all of these Cathedral Prep Ramblers. And Hinkle gets a big hug from head coach Mike Mishler as the fans chant and are ready to, I'm sure, storm the field again with 1 minute and 25 seconds remaining. And Weidel will throw, and he tries to fire it up, and it's batted up in the air. And pick number 52 for the Ramblers, Brad Winicki. Had he looked up, he might have been able to pull that one in for a touchdown. And also down that way was number 78, Justin Gorkowitz. Brown, Eddie Brown, is the one who batted the ball up in the air. 1:21 remaining, 2nd down and 10, and all that remains is the Cathedral Prep celebration to get into the state championship game next weekend in Hershey. Weidel gives it to Matthews on the delay. Matthews with some running room, breaks it out over the 30, and has a first down after the 33-yard line. And they'll stop the clock to move the sticks, but it's all over but the shouting here. And this Matthews kid, Sam Matthews, good runner. Here's a look at it again. This play's been pretty open all night for.
They've executed this draw very well tonight, and now we've got our second-string players in there, and they didn't come off the blocks as well as we would hope there for Cathedral Prep, and Matthews did a great job running.
We'll be down on the field for post-game interviews following the game. We hope you stay with us. Weidel over towards the sideline. Nice catch by Harvey as he pulls it in. Does a little stutter step to keep both feet inbounds, and has a first down at the 46-yard line of Cathedral Prep, stopping the clock with 1:03 remaining.
Whiteout's really showing the strength of his arm. This is a deep out, and that's a very difficult ball to throw.
Yes, it is. And Harvey again showing the good hands and also the ability to catch and keep his feet inbounds along that far side. 1:03 remains. Cathedral Prep comfortably in front here, 39-14. And the Rambler fans just ready to hoot and holler and make their plans for Hershey as the pass is incomplete on the far side. Donnie Brown covering on the play, as well as Pete Evanoff, number 20.
That's a little comeback pass that they've had a lot of success with. Once again, a safe pass for the quarterback to throw, nice pass for the receiver to catch.
And as mentioned, we will be down on the stadium turf, the frozen tundra. And it truly is a frozen tundra here tonight for some post-game interviews to wrap up our coverage here of the Western Finals. Whiteout back to throw, down the middle, and it is caught for a first down inside the 25. Down to the 22 is Brian Young. And he is belted down by Dan Milheiser Jr. as Whiteout again showing he's got that good arm.
Sure does. Pete Evanoff stepping up there from the free safety spot also to help with the play.
And I think you're right. A timeout, Mount Lebanon. And we'll keep it right here as the Lebo gang decides to use what's left. You got to give credit to some of their seniors who have been able to come back. And 2 losses during the WPIAL regular season. They came back after losing to North Hills by 27 points in the regular season. They come back and beat them by 14. That's quite a turnaround. But something that you mentioned right away, as they gave the bucket to Mike Mishler down below. But something you mentioned right away, Coach Tarasovich, right from the beginning of this game, that this Cathedral Prep team, if they were going to be put on the ropes by Mount Lebanon had to kind of throw the ropes at him, throw the whole playbook at him, and have Whiteout throw the ball and not let them just stack it up. And really, they were doing that in a way until that Lustig touchdown catch with 17 seconds remaining. And from that point, Prep has more or less dominated this football game.
Well, that really put the pressure on Mount Lebanon on that last touchdown before half, and probably got them out of their game plan a little bit, got them into an uncomfortable situation. They had to do different things.
Yeah, I think it rattled them a little bit too, as he throws this one incomplete, making it 2nd down 10. 45 seconds remaining. Coach Mishler and the gang on the sidelines just waiting for this one. And there was a lot of pressure on this Cathedral Prep team. They came into this season ranked in the preseason in the USA Today number 11th. They were ranked by Fox Sports Pittsburgh and ESPN in the top 10. I mean, there were a lot of people ready to pounce on them, and they slipped and missed a beat, but they did not do any of that.
Gary, I really believe this might be the most pressure a team ever had to face in Erie, Pennsylvania.
That's a big statement, Joe.
It sure is. I don't remember a team ever being ranked that high so early and doing the things they've done to stay there. I mean, a lot of credit goes to Cathedral Prep to do that.
2nd and 10. Whiteout throws it over the hands of Harvey, who had it zipped through his hands at the 5-yard line. And now with 40 seconds left, we try to churn out the end of this game with the Ramblers safely in front here, 39-14. But I can remember at the beginning of the season before Cathedral Prep, you knew they were going to be good because they ended the year before that strong, went to the Western Finals, lost here in the Western Finals 2 years ago. You knew they were going to be good, but it wasn't the national expectations that you had coming into this year, in which you saw them ranked 11th in the USA Today, as I mentioned, and in the top 5 by Fox Sports and ESPN. Down the middle, incomplete. And a nice breakup on the play by number 20 of the Ramblers, Pete Evanoff.
It's Pete's second great play of the game. He had a nice tackle earlier on the catch, and of course breaking this play up. But Gary, I agree. The national expectations for Cathedral Prep put so much pressure on the boys, and they did a great job handling it. And you also got to pat the coaching staff on the back, because those are things that you have to handle and get the boys focused week in and week out, because everybody's shooting for you.
Right. And you knew there were people out there that were ready to pounce on the Ramblers if they would slip just a step, but they never did this year. They kept it going, had some tough games in the season. Incomplete pass to Harvey on 4th and 10. That's it. The Ramblers will take over. They can run out the clock with 29 seconds remaining. And this one is just a few ticks away on the stadium clock here at Veterans Stadium for being history. And the Ramblers in Central Bucks West in a rematch of last year's exciting state championship in which the Ramblers nearly won it. They had the lead and had a punt blocked, if you remember, late in that game. And Central Bucks West, despite having their fine head coach retire and losing their big running back Dustin Pisciotti, although he got hurt early in that game against Prep in the state championship game. I think he only had 3 or 4 carries. But despite losing him to graduation, the Central Bucks West team and the Cathedral Prep team both will enter next week undefeated on the season as they did a year ago. Hinkle will take the knee. 25 seconds remaining in the game. I don't think Cathedral Prep has to run another play, and this one is in the books. The Ramblers of Cathedral Prep are going to Hershey. The Hershey Kisses are flying. They are the Western champions, defeating Mount Lebanon tonight by a final score of 39-14. It's on to Hershey and the state championship for the Cathedral Prep Ramblers. We'll be back, and we'll get you set up with some post-game interviews down on the stadium turf in just a moment as our coverage of the Quad A Western Finals continues in just a moment. Stay with us.
Have you been involved in an auto accident? Before you speak with the insurance company's claims adjuster, you need to speak with an experienced personal injury attorney.
Dennis Krill, a personal injury attorney with over 20 years experience in the Erie area. Auto accident, medical malpractice, and wrongful death cases, call today for your free consultation.
Experience matters. Don't settle for less.
Wild Birds Unlimited.
Make your holiday gift giving really special this year. Wild Birds Unlimited has doubled its size to offer you more of the things you're wild about. Nature jewelry, sweatshirts, and of course bird feeding accessories are just a few of the many gift ideas you'll find at Wild Birds Unlimited, 3330 West 26th Street in Village West.
Wild Birds Unlimited. We bring people and nature together.
Your wireless connection is Erie's newest Nextel wireless provider. Located in Wesleyville, your wireless connection can take care of all your on-the-go communication needs. So before you pick up a pager or sign up for cellular, stop by your wireless connection and learn more about the Nextel Advantage. And owner Matt Silker, Cathedral Prep class of 1986, along with his sons Philip and Evan, would like to congratulate the Ramblers on their outstanding 2000 season. Your wireless connection on Buffalo Road in beautiful downtown Wesleyville. Call them today at 898-1524.
Once again, the Brandell children, all 7 with Mom and Dad, have gathered together to wish you a Merry Christmas.
As time passes and we all grow older, we hope that you and your family stay as close as we have.
Remember, Christmas is the season for sharing goodwill and taking the time to be with family and friends.
May this Christmas season be the brightest of them all. From our family to yours.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Welcome back to Veterans Stadium, where Cathedral Prep has advanced to the state finals with a 39-14 win over Mount Lebanon. We're joined by Eric Field, who had an outstanding game on both sides of the ball. Sort of touchdown, great defensive effort. You got to just be ecstatic.
Yeah, this is great. Our whole season, all we wanted was come back to states, and we're here, we made it, this feels great.
How about playing Central Bucks West again? Obviously, you want a little revenge after last year.
Oh, no, that's what we're hoping for all year. We want to play them one more time in the state finals.
Did it surprise you at all the way you guys physically dominated Mount Lebanon?
Well, we had a real great week of practice, and we came out real fired up, ready, because we knew they were a good team, they were going to come at us. We just really picked it up this week.
And how about the Altoona game? Did that help you guys refocus and get ready for this one?
Oh, a lot, because we beat them real bad the first time, so we just walked in there thinking we were gonna just walk through that game, and they really came at us, so we knew that we weren't unbeatable. We had to pick it up.
Okay, Eric Field, congratulations, great game. Eric Field, linebacker, tight end for the Ramblers, scored a touchdown on a pass as a fullback. 39-14 the final. We'll take a quick break, and we come back with a more post game right after this.
Cover me, kid! I'm going in! Wow, now that's a 5 o'clock shadow.
Hey, what's going on here?
Down in front! Check out this Weston! Rolling!
Introducing our classic Subway steak and cheese sandwich on fresh baked bread with new Southwest sauce. It's one of 4 unique sauces that are giving Subway a whole new taste. Come and get them.
Yeehaw! Stampede!
Subway. Eat fresh.
Bring a wee bit of Ireland into your home this holiday season with a gift from Tipperary West. Tipperary West specialises in Irish imports like capes, Celtic dolls and jewellery. This holiday season, start a new tradition in your family by giving exquisite Belique Christmas ornaments to the ones you love. Tipperary West can help you set your holiday table with a complete line of Belique china, Waterford crystal and stunning artwork by Edmund Sullivan. And for the person who's hard to buy for, send them Tipperary West gift registry and you won't have to worry about getting the wrong size. Celebrate the holidays in old world style at Tipperary West, 3026 Cherry Street in Erie.
If you have a passion for prep football, now you can get the whole 9 yards from 1924 to 1999 in one complete volume from the Erie Bookstore. Dan Brabender's Ramblers, The History of Prep Football is an immense treasury of statistics, accounts of all the prep games, and a multitude of rare photographs. Every high school football fan will find this book to be enjoyable reading and an essential lasting reference. Dan Brabender's Ramblers is only available for retail sale at the Erie Bookstore, the area's only full-service independent bookstore, 137 East 13th Street in Lovell Place.
Work can be fun in a 2001 GMC Sonoma pickup from McQuillan and Girard. The Sonoma works hard for you, delivering the power, strength, and hauling capacity you need. And Sonoma gives you loads of choices, regular or extended cab, third door, automatic or 5-speed, four-wheel drive. And when it comes to fun, one of our customers said, driving a Sonoma is like driving a sports car. It took the curves the same way for a lot less money. See all the Sonomas for yourself at McQuillan and Girard, your GMC dealer.
Welcome back to our post-game coverage here as the Ramblers in the Western Finals have defeated Mount Lebanon 39-14. Joining us now is Ed Hinkle getting hit by Hershey Kisses. Boy, it's got to be a sweet feeling, though, knowing you're headed back to Hershey and now you have a chance to get some revenge against Central Bucks West.
Yeah, we heard in the locker room before we came up here at Central Bucks West won. You know, we wanted that rematch. And, you know, we came out. Everyone played a great game. You know, the line blocked good. Juwan ran good. Jason ran good at times. You know, Eric did a good job getting out in the flat, getting some passes. Everybody played a great game tonight.
You guys pretty much did what you wanted to do offensively tonight, especially in that second half. But tell me about the touchdown pass late in the first half to Josh Lustig. Was that some communication between you two guys that made that happen?
Yeah, it was kind of a communication. Josh, you know, he broke inside. You know, I know him. He knows me. You know, he broke outside. I knew he was going to be there. You know, he made a great catch.
Did you feel from that point you kind of took the wind out of their sails? You pretty much dominated the second half, right?
Yeah, you know, we wanted to come in the first half and, you know, kind of shut them down the first half, come out and stick it to them the second half, and, you know, we did that tonight.
All right, these some of your classmates behind you there?
Yeah, there's a couple of them.
All right, Jawan Walker here. All right, Jawan Walker, obviously great game, Jawan. Did you feel you needed to kind of get some redemption? Last week was a tough week for you. You dropped the pass, you fumbled once, but you played one heck of a game here today.
Yeah, we just want to come out. We want to go back to Hershey again, so I knew I had to come out and run the ball. I knew the offensive line was going to come out and block for me all week. All week they just told me to just run the ball and they'll come out and block for me.
This team seemed to be more focused tonight than they've been in a while. I mean, you guys had a task at hand and you came out and did it.
Well, last year at Hershey we lost, so we set a goal right after Hershey, get back to the point, get back there. And we had to come out tonight and win to get back there, so everyone just came out focused. We're going back now.
All right, Jawan, congratulations. Good luck in Hershey next
Thanks.
week. All right, Jawan Walker. All right. Okay, girls, let's go. Okay, all right. Matt Parsons now joins us. Matt, you had a little stinger in your shoulder, but you came through that okay, right?
Yeah, I did all right. It just hurt for a little while, but we worked it out.
All the talk going into this thing was about the big line from Mount Lebanon. You guys handled them pretty well throughout the course of the game.
I think we did a decent job, but we came out to prove all the doubters that doubted us we would win this game. I think we did that today.
It's got to give you a lot of satisfaction when you've got such talent in the Hinkles and the Lustigs and the Jawan Walkers. And if you do a good block or you make a good tackle, that those guys are going to respond and help the whole team work.
Oh, they do. Everyone comes out fired up, patting each other on the back and stuff like that after every play.
All right, Matt, congratulations on a great game. All right, Donnie Brown, come on in here. All right. Yes. It's a family affair here, ladies and gentlemen, as the Ramblers won. Pretty good job in the defensive secondary tonight. And that guy could throw the ball, too. I mean, he was kind of maybe underrated as a quarterback coming in here, right?
Yeah, I feel they had a pretty good wideouts receiving core, and the quarterback was throwing the ball really hard. We just stepped it up on defense and tried to shut him down.
All right, you got a return trip to Hershey. It's got to make you feel great. Huh?
It makes me feel wonderful. We're going to Hershey. Woo!
All right, Donnie Brown, one more interview here. Tim Dance, of course. Tim, with the big kick return last week, and to kind of keep this season alive, Tim, you guys did pretty much what you had to offensively tonight. Really, there was no problem in the second half. You kind of took control of things, right?
You know, at the beginning of the game, you know, they were driving, they were getting first downs and everything, but our defense got their things together, and Coach went over a couple things, and we just went out there and we played football. That's all you got to do. You just play football.
Going into this game, obviously there was the focus to get back to the state championship game. Did you want to face Central Bucks West because that's who you have?
Yes, we want to face Central Bucks West, and we're going to go down there and we're going to kick butt.
All right, there you go from Tim Dance himself. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back with some final words here on our post-game show in just a moment. Stay with us.
Attention hunters, it's time to bag a big truck at Community Chevrolet. We've got a herd of 2001 Chevy pickups and sport utilities, all priced low enough to start a customer stampede. But don't worry, we have plenty to satisfy everyone. Set your sights on all of our Silverado regular and extended cabs, or scope out the many Chevy S10 ZR2s, Chevy Blazers, and Tahoes. And hunters, ask about our Big Buck contest. Remember, you won't have to shell out big bucks to bag a big truck at Community Chevrolet, Route 322 in Meadville.
Hey Janice, do you want to go to McDonald's?
Come into McDonald's for our new Bacon Ranch Crispy Chicken Sandwich. Zesty ranch sauce and hickory smoked bacon. A tasty combination from our new taste menu.
Who gives George Miller his physical every year?
Oh boy.
Who got his cholesterol under control?
You.
Who knows about his dad's bad heart?
You
about
do.
his family history? These guys? Who knows that fried fruit gives him indigestion? Who's better qualified to know what tests George Miller needs? And who is this insurance company to tell me I can't do it?
Only one health plan doesn't interfere with your doctor's decisions.
Okay, we'll put it through again.
UPMC. Choose a health plan as if your life depended on it.
Once again, the Brandel children, all 7 with Mom and Dad, have gathered together to wish you a Merry Christmas.
As time passes and we all grow older, we hope that you and your family stay as close as we have.
Remember, Christmas is the season for sharing goodwill and taking the time to be with family and friends.
May this Christmas season be the brightest of them all. From our family to yours.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Okay, welcome back here to our post-game show, and linebacker Joe Dupre joins us. And Joe, you guys came out, you knew it was going to be a physical game. You came out very physical tonight.
Yeah, I mean, all week coach has been saying, you know, they have a big offensive line, but we knew that if we got out, you know, if we got after him right off the bat, we were going to make it a long day for him. And I think our defense line controlled the game, and that's what we needed to do.
How big was the touchdown that Lustig scored late in that first half? You're only up by 6 at the half if that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's a big momentum shift right there. They just got off scoring a touchdown themselves, so we needed something like that to go into halftime, and you know that's 7 points we didn't have. So I mean, going into halftime we had the momentum, coming out we had the momentum, and we got the ball and we scored. That's what we needed to do.
And you got one more shot at Central Bucks West.
Yeah.
I know you like that, right?
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, you know, we're going to go down there confident, and I mean, they're going to come in confident, so it's just going to be battle again. The best team will win, hopefully, and, you know, it's going to be fun playing them for a second time.
Good luck, Joe. You've had an outstanding career.
Thank you.
All right, Joe Dupre. Now Mike Mishler is going to join us and his lovely wife. Hello there. How you doing? Congratulations, Mishlers, on getting back to the state championship game. It was a fun game, especially in the second half.
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, you know, it's been a long time since I actually enjoyed a football game. You know, I just got to say that the pressure and the expectations put on this team, you know, by everybody, by ourselves, the community, the national rankings, you know, I mean, and being able to come back and really face those and come out with a victory today, it just means everything. Now we're back to where we wanted to be. We're back to our gym. Whatever happens next week, we're going to try our darndest to try to win that game. But we're going to, you know, we're just happy to be able to go back there, and we got a lot of work ahead of us this week.
Yeah, it's a tough Central Bucks West team. But talk about that touchdown right at the end of the first half. I mean, when you talk about having experience on this club, Hinkle and Lustig, that was experience working that thing out.
Right. I mean, That's exactly right. I mean, they've been playing together since they were young kids, and they're on the same football team with St. Andrews, and they can communicate well together. And Ed threw a great ball. I actually thought Harvey intercepted it from the angle I had, and but Josh came away with it and got in the end zone, and that was what we were trying to do, to really hit him on a post. So they had scouted us, and they knew we were going to go back there. So they had two defenders, but Josh just made a great catch, and Ed made a great throw.
And we were talking up in the booth about perhaps no team in Erie history has had the kind of expectations and pressure that this prep team, and yourself and the coaching staff and the entire team really handled it so well. I mean, is that something you guys talked about from the beginning of the year?
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, again, this is only my third year as head coach, so it's kind of it's kind of hard to be able to go through the things we've had to go through the last couple of years. I had Joe Moore the first 2 years. He really taught me a lot of good things about it. But my staff and everybody, we've stayed focused. Our kids, I can't give more credit to our kids because they're just they're the best kids in the world to coach. And I think of where we were last week at this time, even getting the win, we were a little bit down on ourselves. But coming out and being happy with the results, and then being able to improve as much as we did this week. Lebo's a great team, and we're just real proud to be able to come out and win this one.
Now, how do you keep him in line throughout the course of the season?
Oh, no. It's wonderful. Football is just a part of him, and he's so happy to be back with his alma mater that it's natural, and it just energizes our whole family, and we just couldn't be prouder of him and his other coaches and the team, the players. We just love and respect them so much.
Absolutely. And one other question: who's watching the kids tonight?
Oh, yeah.
This is the one date we have all year, so we're going to actually
enjoy the
Thanks, Mom Wall. She's watching the kids.
Yes, enjoy the rest of it, and congratulations. We'll see you in Hershey next week.
All right, thanks, Gary.
All right, thank you very much. All right, live here at the Veterans Stadium, the Ramblers have wrapped it up. A final score of 39-14. Let's bring Joe Tarasovich and Chris Hughes back in here. And Joe, this was simply very quickly in the seconds that we have left, just a wonderful performance by the Ramblers. Huh?
Well, it's a great performance after last week, and good luck to them down in Hershey. They sure deserve it. Good luck to Cathedral Prep.
I know they want that shot at Central Bucks West again. Right?
No doubt about it, and of course, with the way the game ended last year, hopefully we won't have an accident like that happen this time around, but it's great they're there, and they deserve all the congratulations in the world.
All right, great job as always, and we're glad you could bring us all of the action here on Channel 35 of the Western Finals. The Ramblers are headed to Hershey for the second consecutive year, beating Mount Lebanon in the Western Finals 39-14. For Chris Hughes and Joe Tarasovich, I'm Gary Brapcho. Good night, everyone. We'll see you in Hershey next week.
It's your special day and you want it to be perfect.